So I didn't want to say anything when I first saw you just now. Because, by the way, matching Kaged hats, fucking adorable. Thank you for the dope hat.
Of course.
I'm a big fan of a hat, and the issue that I have with hats, though, is I train in them all the time, and they get funky. So the more hats that I get that I can just cycle in and out.
You know, I'll just keep supplying the hat.
It's beautiful. Perfect. That's what I need. I need a hat plug, and you're my guy now.
Of course.
So you saw me limping a little bit.
Yes.
And my left, I think it's a hamstring injury, is kind of just shot right now. So what happened was, and I'm going to kind of segue this into, I love jujitsu.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. And there's a lot of people that listen, that ask me about it, that go do it themselves, that go try things out, whatever. And I'm always very forthcoming with information in terms of it's an injury-prone sport. Yeah. So, like, it's great, but you're wrestling another grown-ass human being, and you got to watch because even though I tap early, even though I say that there's no ego involved, every now and then, though, you know, feeling some kind of fucking way, you're like, yo, I'm not gonna let this motherfucker get me. I gotta
sweaty ass motherfucker trying to take me down.
I'll tell you what, there's a move, and I'm gonna get back to this. There's a move.
What was we talking about?
Listen, man. There's a move where you'll actually have a dude. It's called like going north-south on you, and so their face will be like by your stomach, and they'll be holding you down. It's super hard to get out of. I mean, for me, I'm a white belt. I'm a little bitch. It's super hard to get out of that position. Mm-hmm. But the issue, even more so than getting them off of you and bridging up and then trying to slide out or something, the biggest problem that I have with that is they basically waterboard you.
I'm sorry?
With their sweaty rash guard in your fucking face.
Oh, fuck that.
And you can't breathe. No. Yeah, it's waterboarding. That's what it is. It's waterboarding.
No.
Yep.
Thanks.
It's low. It's low cost. I mean, I don't know if waterboarding actually costs anything, but it's just the water bill. But it's low cost waterboarding is what it feels like because you can't breathe because it keeps like suffocating you. I actually wind up tapping just because I can't breathe.
I would just swing.
Yeah,
I would go for your temple.
No, you can't do that. Can't do that because the guys that are putting you in that position, they'll grab that arm and fucking snap that shit like a celery stalk. It'll be over. So that has been an interesting thing that I've been dealing with, but injury-prone sport, and you have to be prepared to have a little bit of downtime. And unfortunately, when you're doing a sport like this, the downtime then obviously translates to the gym as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because
you can't train at all.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was, I've been dealing with neck injuries recently, and not really injuries, but tightness, not feeling, it's stiffening up on me because you get a lot of dudes that are doing a super tight grip on the back of your neck and they're pulling you down and they're trying to throw you to the mat because you start usually standing up, trying to maneuver between one another. So my neck has been tweaked. I rolled a few times yesterday at the noon class, midday, and I feel like that pinched nerve feeling. Oh. You know, when you look to the left and it pinches right in the middle, like the side of your back, kind of, but in the shoulder. Yeah. So I got that going on. Then there was a dude who asked me to roll, and I said, sure, we're good. And I said, listen, man, I just always give the disclaimer. I'm still new at this. I'm still trying to figure all this shit out. I don't really know anything. And he's just like, no worries. You're good.
He fucked you up.
It's not even that he fucked me up. He took me down. Dude, he took me down hard as shit. Like, we were standing up. I was countering him a little bit. He'd grab a hold of me. I'd counter it. I'd grab back to him so he couldn't get me in tighter positions. Yeah. I'd bridge against his arm when he was trying to come over the top. Then he shot for, like, it's called an underhook. He tried to get underneath my arm. Couldn't do it. But then he just shot into both of my legs, like wrestler style. Shot into both of my legs, which was fine. But the way that I landed, my left leg landed like this. Mm-hmm. So this is the mat right here. Yeah. My foot hit flush to the mat and my knee was bent. So instantly I felt that, like, the recoil. Yeah. My foot hit the mat and then went up, and then I just felt it right in the back of my leg. Not even in my knee area, but sort of near it. And I just went, man, I just fucked my knee up. That was it. Like, I thought it was a knee thing. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm fucked right now. So I'm fighting him off for 5 minutes. And I'm not pushing against that leg.
What do you do? Do you say, like, yo, get the fuck off me?
Well, if you get hurt, like, if you really get hurt, like, dudes are super cool. They'll just be like, oh yeah, no, my bad. Like, when I popped my right knee, that shit was scary. I thought I was like tore something bad. I trapped the kid's leg, and then I overhooked him, and then we both tried to stand up at the same time, and my ankle went up and my knee touched the mat, and it just went pop, and I went, oh, and he stopped instantly. He's like, yo, you good? You good? I said, I don't know. And I stood up. I could walk on it, but it was sore for a little while.
Okay.
So dudes are very respectful. Like if you get shook, I was telling my mom before, I said, yo, it's crazy to think that you have almost like little panic attacks when you're rolling still, because you have somebody literally choking the wind out of you.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're just like, can I work out this? Can I get through this? And you start maybe second guessing yourself, or then they start like smothering you like the waterboarding. I'm joking, but I'm also dead serious. Like you can't breathe. So you have to like talk yourself off the ledge and go, yo, chill out. It's cool. All you got to do is tap and they'll get off of you. And it's true. That's it. That's how it is. But it's a very interesting sport. So
I mean,
you know what?
I'm good. I'm all set.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. You're gonna come through and you're gonna do an intro class.
I'm gonna fuck somebody up.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna lose my temper.
No, you're not. You're gonna try it out and you're gonna be like, actually, this is kind of cool, Nick.
Fucking guillotine.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, it's gonna be your head in there.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
night, Nikki.
Yeah, they're gonna grab you. They're gonna be like, all right, get this motherfucker. Let's let him know.
Bad.
But it's cool, man. So now though, I have to deal with this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
And I have to listen, man. I don't know if it's getting older necessarily, or if it's just because we're training at an elite level constantly. Because rest days get so put by the wayside. Like we just you know when you're feeling a rhythm and you just feel like, oh shit, man, I'm in a mode, man. I just want to train. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. Yeah. And then all of a sudden your body's just like, yo, we need a break. And you just no, we're good. Oh, I'll eat a little bit more. I'll get some more calories in, or I'll go to sleep a little earlier. And it's not the same as actually taking active rest days.
Yeah, no, I think also too. I think it's two pronged, right? I think you have the reality is that we are getting older. I'm 31. You're what, 41? So what happens is
41 going on 51.
Yeah. So like I think from the culture and from the work that we do, we're naturally in a state of constant go, especially just from a work standpoint. So I think it translates, right? I think you're so on the go work wise. It's like it's part of your routine, and at least for me, I'm a very regimented person. So like, so if something's off of my routine, it actually fucks up my day.
Yeah.
Like it really throws me for a little tailspin, but it's really finding that rhythm. And I think once you start incorporating the rest days or active rest days or whatever it is, again, it's just finding your groove. I think, yeah, sure, we're getting older and you have to really be mindful of that. I found that out 6 months ago. I was just work stuff in general. I was getting super stressed, everything. I was getting liquid behind my eye. Like liquid, yeah, dude. I had
wait a minute. That was diagnosed.
Yeah,
liquid behind your eye.
Yeah, no, well, behind my retina. So I was reading my book one morning, and I text my mom, and I was like, "Hey, just checking on my mom." I was like, "I gotta make a doctor's appointment, whatever." And she's like, "Why? What's wrong?" I was like, "My eye." I was like, it was weird. I was playing softball one night in Huntington. Shout out Huntington softball. Ground ball to shortstop, and then I was like, it caught up on me really way too fast. My hand eye's elite, like top tier fucking eagle eyes right here. Right? So like,
fire.
Yeah, amazing. So then the ball came up on me fast. I'm like, what the fuck was that? This is what the shit. So and then I'm reading.
What happened? Was it almost like a time? It felt like almost like a time skip. Like you were present, but you're mentally eye-wise weren't present.
Then I went to hit. So let's say that's the picture right there, right? And my left eye's my good eye, my right eye's my bad eye. So then I see the ball coming out of my left eye, and as I turn to swing, my right eye, the ball's further back, but it's coming closer.
Weird.
Yeah, very trippy.
Like a delay.
Yeah, so long story short, I went to the doctor, and they're like, hey, like this is like almost a medical anomaly. There's nothing that can really treat it.
Sick.
You have, yeah. So you, yeah. So they're like, you have liquid behind your retina, and it's from it was mental and emotional psychological distress.
Oof.
They're like, you need to fucking relax. You are working way too much, and you need to take a break. You need to take a break. So as soon as I did that, I got some like laser treatment done on my right eye to like, essentially there was a leakage behind my retina, and I lasered it shut so like it wouldn't get worse. So like it's getting a little better, but like.
So you still have a delay when you're seeing certain things?
Yeah, so like if I wink my left eye, you're about a foot back.
Is it? Oh, so there's like it's like almost like a diffraction type of.
Yeah, it's almost like in my right side, I'm farsighted.
Wow.
It's fucking crazy.
And so now just relaxation, recovery, chilling out type situation. That's kind of what you have to do to recover from it. Like, what is it going to drain by itself? Is your body just going to absorb whatever type of liquid it is?
They said the liquid essentially, as time goes on and as I become more of a relaxed person.
Okay.
That was all right. Yeah. Okay.
I got you real quick. Ready?
That'll happen.
I'm going to help Nick out real quick. All right. I'm not sponsored. I could be. I'm okay if they want to.
Is this like the app?
It's an app called Headspace. Okay? Headspace is a meditation and relaxation app.
Yeah.
And I happen to love it.
Yeah.
Because it relaxes me and I feel really fucking good when I do it. Like when I actively practice meditation and I actively practice the art of relaxation, things just click.
Yeah.
Everything just feels right. Now, there could be it could be the worst day that you've had in a long time, but centering yourself, focusing on your breath, feeling how do I actually feel and being present. Because listen, man, we move so quickly because of
I was just about to say that.
we move so quickly because of life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that blame it specifically on being in New York and what we have to do just to make ends meet and stay afloat. And there is some validity to that.
Very much so.
But I do believe that we control ourselves. We control our mind, and our mindset, which I just spoke to Jamal about, is really everything. So being able to be present, enjoy things, not look so far into the future where not only does it stress us out, but we feel compelled to just constantly have things set up and aligned. And I have to hit, like, goal stuff is great.
Yeah.
Goal-oriented mindset is a real thing. Like you without goals and without that, you're not aiming. You're just shooting arrows out and you're just never going to hit the target. Maybe you hit the target, but generally you won't, because you have to have some type of a direction.
You have to have some sort of goal.
So it's great, but at the same time, we have to be able to take life a little less seriously. That was a clip I put out. Take life a little less seriously. Enjoy the time.
Yeah.
Meditate, be present. We're so consumed with screens. We're so consumed with content. I have to tell myself to stop a lot of times because I'll be making breakfast, or I'll walk the dog, or I'll be in the office. There's always a podcast on.
Yeah.
There's always a YouTube video playing in the background. You never get that moment to just, I need to just chill and relax. And when somebody says something to you like that in medical terms of this is due to high stress, obviously there's a plethora of things that can be symptoms of high stress, high anxiety environments that we're consistently putting ourselves into, or situations. Yeah. But actually taking that time to center myself, be present, enjoy life as a whole is huge. So Squarespace is great because, once again, no affiliation, I have to say that, but Squarespace is great because they have meditation practices. So they have guided meditations. They have sleep casts, which I fucking love. I love putting on a sleep cast, and it's almost like a grown-up story. Story time before bed. They walk you through a story. I'm going to send you a free 30-day link.
Squarespace, you can thank Nick Rizzle for this.
Headspace.
I
mean Squarespace. Did I say Squarespace?
Squarespace, yeah.
I said Squarespace.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Headspace. My bad. But anyway.
Yeah, you did.
My bad. I do use Squarespace for my website, and it's dog shit, so... So thanks for that, guys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, don't send the check. So actually, send it back. So anyway, it's really good. They have a lot of good things that will help you to relax. So here's my refer a friend. What about refer a sugar daddy? Because you just bought me a coffee. I wonder if that's an option.
I'm surprised I didn't ice these coffees. I'm sorry. Do I have to ask for ice when I go into
Is that not cold enough for you? Let me ask you seriously. Is that not cold enough?
Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. This needs to be substantially colder. I want my shit to freeze.
Okay, wait a minute. This isn't a cold enough iced coffee for you.
No. If I'm having an iced coffee, I expect ice to actually be in the coffee.
Yeah, but do you know how dirty ice machines are?
Dude, I don't give a... I drink Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, dude. You would care if you saw... Nah. Oh, my goodness.
Dude, that shit's fucking rock. That honestly, that coffee and Dunkin' Donuts has single-handedly pushed me to accomplish wonders.
Without question. The coffee itself,
Rocket
the
fuel.
Actual fuel itself has. The ice, however, is disgusting.
Okay.
It's wild.
It's wild.
Let me tell you, bro. I don't have the videos on standby. I'll have to send them to you. But the videos that I've seen...
It's fucking disgusting, I know.
It is disgusting. Yeah. Mold and all types of bacteria. They found E. coli and fucking different types of poop strains and whatnot.
Nice.
Dog, I'm good on that. And then I told you, Starbucks, they found high mold content in a lot of the coffees. So I shouts to Soul Brew. Why is your thing labeled and mine isn't? All right, so maybe
She liked me.
she did like you.
She did.
She did. She winked at you.
When you see a bearded guy with a beard, obviously a bearded guy with a beard.
I used to have a beard
Nice tan, yeah.
and had a mustache
Yeah.
for 12 hours that nobody saw besides you, Tyler, and Gabe.
I know, Jesus. But to go back on that, what I want to touch on is like, so when we were talking about taking that step back, right? So what actually helped me get better in terms of my eye and my anxiety and my stress is every morning I write down 5 things. It doesn't have to be something you're grateful for, but something just that's positive in your life. I think people get so caught up in when they make these lists in the morning, they read their 10 pages and whatever. Dude, just write down 5 positive things in your life. You don't have to be grateful for them. Obviously, that's a good thing. As long as they're positive and it makes you take a step back and to see how good your life actually is. And it really helped change my self-talk, saying like, oh, fuck, I have fucking 6 meetings today. Shit, I gotta get a podcast. I have to talk to this regional guy today. Fuck, I gotta shoot for this. Fuck, I gotta shoot for Tony and hummus. Like, too much. No, dude, like, I get to wake up and I get to work for Kaged. Fucking amazing job. I have 2 great bosses. I have a family that loves me. I have a nephew. I have amazing friends. I get to go on a podcast. I get to go to work. I get to do these things every single day. And it's a lot easier said than done. Shifting your thought process and the way you approach life as a whole it's a very big undertaking because everyone's just going about the motions, and it's not exactly easy because you have your routine, right? You have your everyday tasks that you're doing, and you have to make it a priority in taking a step back and making your positive spin on life. And also the people you surround yourself with is, in my estimation, as of late, had even more of an impact. You truly do become the 3 to 4 people you surround yourself with constantly. And truth be told, I've made a lot of adjustments, not any knocks against them, but for some reason or another, do I still have stress? Yes. Do I still have anxiety? Yes. Do I still have quote unquote problems? That's fucking life. But can your life be substantially more enjoyable with the people that you surround yourself with? Absolutely. But that's on you too. And an incumbent of that also too, when you do have issues and problems that do come up, right? And I found, at least in the space that I work in, there's a lot of like, oh, I want to do this, but I can't because of that. And everyone likes the idea of doing something, or the idea of doing a podcast, or the idea of starting a supplement brand. But no one actually likes to when it comes to fucking push comes to shove and you actually have to do those things. Again, it comes down to your perseverance, the people you surround yourself. It's really a full circle effect in life in general and your approach. So why not have a positive one?
Yeah. It's not glamorous. The work part is not glamorous always. And you get caught up in the social media buzz of reels on Instagram of seeing 24-year-olds that have 4 businesses and they own a Lamborghini and all this bullshit. And, you don't get to see the behind the scenes where these 24-year-olds are losing their fucking hair and they're stressed out of their fucking minds. Yeah. But the cover up that they put out there is that, oh my God, life is just so amazing and fulfilling. And it's
a facade, bro.
It's all a facade. So you have to, I just recently dealt with my own mental battle, which I talked about last episode with Jamal. Mm. And it was mostly iron, to be honest with you. It's fucking crazy how that actually happened. I was told 2 years ago. The short of it, for people that already listened, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but the short of it is my iron levels are super high. Ferritin. My ferritin levels are high. There's a disease called hemochromatosis, which it seems like I may have. And basically that's when iron deposits in your brain and liver over time. And even if you don't drink, which I haven't drank since March, and I'd have no intentions of drinking in the foreseeable future, it's when you can actually get cirrhosis of the liver without even drinking.
Wow.
So that's how much it fucked your liver up.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I was told 2 years ago to donate because my levels were in like the 500s, my ferritin levels. Mm-hmm. But then the offshot, and sometimes the tricky part of it, is that ferritin can actually be an indication of inflammation in the body, not just high iron stores and levels, because my saturation levels were not that crazy. Yeah. 2 years go by. I never donated blood because I'm a little bitch and I hate needles.
Same.
I hate needles. And
I don't
then
have tattoos.
Oh, man, that's why I don't have any tattoos either. Yay!
I passed
some
out. I
non-artwork tweens. Oh,
I fucking.
do it. No, go back to that.
I got like the pound.
Stick shift.
Oh wow. Wow.
But so I was supposed to donate 2 years ago. Never did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started getting like a mental feeling of just having like a bubble around my head. I just felt very depersonalized, kind of just on autopilot, which, to be honest with you, happens in my line of work when you're shooting a lot of the same things. You're doing a lot of the trips, like the expos constantly.
Yeah.
It feels like the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I kind of just got in tune with how I was feeling, and I was just kind of losing my mind a little bit because I was like, I know I feel off. I can't explain how and why I feel off. I got blood work in August. It showed that my ferritin levels were half of what they were 2 years ago, which doesn't make sense because if anything, I'm eating more red meat than I was 2 years ago, and I never donated blood. So it doesn't really make sense as to why that happened.
Yeah.
I then spoke to my guy down in Florida. I spoke to the natural guy that I know through Syosset, super intelligent guys. Both of them said, you need to go donate blood. You have to go donate blood. Like this is a life or death health type of scenario over time.
Oh yeah,
you have
you
to
got to
go donate blood.
100%.
So over the last couple of months, I've been trying to work up to the courage. And then 2 weeks ago, I felt like the shittiest I felt. And I said, literally, what do I have to lose? Let me go donate. I bit the bullet, man. It was tough. I bit the bullet.
Do you get all like white and sweaty?
You know what? I was wearing Crocs and my feet were so fucking sweaty.
I get bad, dude.
I was
I'm
like,
bad.
oh my God.
I'm terrible.
I am so anxious right now. But I sat there and I just said, you know what? This is for the better. This is for me.
Yeah.
I have to just bite the bullet and do something that scares me.
Yeah.
Whatever. So they laid me back. I donated.
Dude, you gotta go ask to get laid down.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
you're good. Yeah.
And then I was FaceTiming T and I was hanging out and I didn't feel anything immediately. The next day I felt clear. Little clearer.
The next 2 days you feel like
a little clearer, and then I felt a little bad again. Not bad like I was, but a little off. And I was like, maybe it didn't work, whatever. And then a couple days go by. My guy down in Florida was like, yo, give it a week, and then let me know how you feel. Literally a week to that day, I felt great, man.
Wow.
Mindset, everything's back. I feel sharp again. Yeah, a little product plug
like that.
I'm very excited to try that, by the way. But yeah, so I've knock on wood, I've felt great since then.
Good.
And now I don't know what my ferritin levels are now, but I have my plan, and going forward is every 2 to 3 months I'll probably go donate.
Yeah.
Because you know what, I'll get used to it. It is what it is. I'll get used to it. You're saving lives at the same time, and it's a good feeling to donate and whatnot. You're gonna come to the next one with me.
Yeah. Oh, so the funny thing, the last time I didn't donate blood, so I was
it was an IV treatment, wasn't it?
That's another. We'll tell that story after this one. We'll tell that story after this one. So I went to I don't know if it's called Revive anymore, but they I forgot. I think it's in Exville or
med spa type of spot.
Yeah, whatever. So long story short, they take your whole panel, not just your hormones, but your heart, liver, pancreas, everything.
Yeah.
So I go there, and that whole week, for some reason, dude, I'm like, I'm waking up tired. I'm thinking, dude, all right, I'm 30. Like, I'm turning 30.
Yeah, this is it. It's over.
I'm like, fuck. Like, but at the same time, I think I was, TRT. Let's get huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like going in like
get juicy.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, I'm about to hop on this fucking gravy train, And so it was like
saucy train.
It was double-edged sword, right? So I go there, and then the woman there, she's taking my blood, and like I'm white, I'm pale, I'm sweaty. She's like, why is it always like the taller dudes? Like, why is it always these guys? I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm like, I don't pass out when I give blood. I just get very like
woozy. Just feel off.
Yeah, like I always come in within like 2 minutes of passing out. I never pass out though. Yeah. They usually have to give me orange juice after, which is pretty funny.
Oh, you love your juice.
Yeah, dude, I need that blood sugar rise. And then, so then they actually get the results like within, fucking couple. I think what was it, like 3-4 days? I come back in.
Nice.
They're like, hey man, like, are you running anything? What are you on? I'm just like, absolute like water, chicken, rice, and steak, occasionally salmon. And they're just like, dude, you don't need to be here. Like, you have immaculate blood work. Like,
why do I feel off?
I was like, why do I feel so tired? They're like, maybe you should like just not take a day off, but like, dude, just relax.
Yeah, de-stress.
They're like, dude, you need to fucking chill, dude. They're like, yeah, dude, like my T levels were like at 850. I'm 31 years old.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah, but like, but I'm very regimented with my, not even health supplements, things, but that's also why the move from where I was to Kaged aligned so well is because it's just like such an easy transition from my lifestyle to my supplements to everything, where I used to be an athlete and now I'm just like not a wannabe bodybuilder, but I'm just like I like exercising and being fit and being healthy because one day I do want to have a family and I do want to be there for my kids, and I don't want to be that father that doesn't get to experience that with his kids. I want to be there for my kids and have that lasting impression that like my dad had. I want to carry that legacy. That's really important to me. So having that and having my health first and foremost is of the utmost importance. So whether it be greens, fucking whole food multivitamins, whether it be probiotics, anything and everything that I can do, vitamin K2, anti-inflammatory, turmeric, etc. Those things, staying on top of that and being regimented, it all goes back to you having the right headspace, being positive in your outlook in life, and surrounding yourself with like-minded people that like if I had shitty friends and they didn't want to be around a long time and all my friends were super overweight and drank and got high all the time, where the fuck do you think I would be?
Yeah, it's a very slippery slope.
Exactly. But, and
it happens without you even fucking realizing it. Yeah. It's like you want to be a part of the group, you want to do things that everyone else is doing. Because then it becomes
part of your life.
Yeah.
And then peer pressure comes into account, right? And then now you're worrying about what your people think. But like if I hang out with you all the time, you're one of the more understanding people I know. Like, hey man, I'm good. I don't want to drink. Okay. The kids I used to hang out with in college would be like, why don't you drink it, pussy?
Yeah.
I fucking hated that shit.
Yeah, egg you on. They'd be like, come on, bro. Like, it's not that big a deal.
Exactly. Or like, listen, I'm not competing anytime soon, but if I want to stay on track and have a meal, like, I want to surround myself with people who are like, oh, yeah, no, he's good. He's doing his thing. I don't want to hear it. Like, if the roles are reversed, and that's why, like, sometimes I get annoyed sometimes because, like, if the roles were reversed and you wanted to do better for yourself, I would be a shitty friend if I didn't support you. But for some reason, as we're younger, we surround ourselves with people who are kind of like, oh, egg you on. Like, what the fuck you doing? Like, it's just a meal plan. Like, why have a drink? Like, what are you doing? Like, stop being a loser. Oh, you're no fun. Well, if you were my friend, not that you would understand, I don't expect you to, but you would at least support me.
Yeah.
And that what comes down to surrounding your people that genuinely are there. Because there's a lot of fucking fake shit out there, dude.
Oh, man.
Especially in this industry where it's just like, I can't tell you, this is not me stroking my ego. As soon as I went from VMI to Kaged, no knock against VMI. Love the guys there, great brand. Kaged is a substantially larger, high-profile brand.
Yeah.
As soon as I went there, I showed you my text message, bro, like 160, 170. Like, where the fuck are these people coming from?
Yeah. You were with me the next day.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Seeing your phone consistently buzzing.
Like, what the fuck?
And now here's the question. Were those same people that are showing so much quote-unquote love, were they there during all the times of MFit and VMI?
A handful.
170 of them. I'm saying.
No, no, of course not, bro. You have like, your 5-6 people. Like, I have kids. I have friends that I played Little League with, right? That followed me through college and supported me just because from afar, and they're friends. Those people you appreciate. The people that like you might have needed a favor from and didn't answer you when you're like, hey, do you mind like, maybe picking up a bottle or two just to, no, we're good. There's no demand for it.
Yeah.
I also remember that Anthony from Foundations RX, when I asked him to pick up a bottle of MFit because he was friends with Guy, he picked up fucking cases just to support Guy and myself. And then now, Foundations, we're about to have Kaged and Foundations soon.
Beautiful.
So, like, it's just building relationships and just having people that are there for you. And again, I don't know, this theme of just the people you surround yourself is just the theme of this episode, because it really does mean so much.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, I've been quoted as being cold over the years and cutting people off too quickly.
I was told I changed last week.
Well, I mean, you did change. Yeah, you did change.
I was told I changed.
Yeah, you changed.
But I don't know.
Nah. Oh, you could, bro. It's fucking okay.
I'm changing, bro.
Yeah, you changing. You hitting my mics and shit. Crazy. The old Nick would never have done that. I've been told that I'm a little too quick to cut people out, cut people off, this and that. But at 32 years old, I really don't have time for bullshit. And even at a younger age, I didn't have time for bullshit. Mm-hmm. So that was actually a topic for the intro stuff that I wanted to talk about. Marina, I put up a question for Marina because she's coming on tomorrow.
Nice.
I put a question up for Marina, and then I reposted yours, and I put yours up. I didn't get any. Mm-hmm. I didn't get any for yours. I got 2 for Marina. Mm-hmm. Now, I saw the list of females
Who saw?
that saw that. And I said, please don't skip this. This is important. Marina had breast cancer. Like,
Yeah.
this is important. What questions do you maybe have? Like, it's not every day that maybe a girl could interact with somebody that had a double mastectomy, that she can actually talk so openly and freely about it, maybe help her screening, what to look out for. God forbid they ever have to do something like that. What's the process like? What did you experience? Not only emotional, psychological, but fucking physically. What did you go through? And we're going to rerun that list down. So I don't need the questions. Let me just... I anytime I put up a question thing on any of my podcast episodes, I don't need questions. I can have a conversation and make my own fucking questions. But the point is, I like to make it so this way it's more integral, like with people that are going to be interacting with the show.
Do you ever take that personally? So like if you put up a...
So I do and I don't. And that's kind of where this is going.
When you see all
I do
the
and
people that just... Okay.
I do and I don't, because I always show love to everybody that posts on my page.
Always.
Like everybody that comes up on my feed, I send a like over there. If there's a poll, I'll interact with it, just because the interaction helps the page.
Yeah.
Marina asked me, she goes, did you get any questions? Because I got a couple of questions, this and that. I said, no, I haven't gotten anything. She's, I got one. And she just goes, wow, really? I said, yeah. And what I've realized is that there's a lot of people that will, as this show continues to grow, because it is, there was a lot of people that when I hit 10,000 subscribers, when I hit 50,000 subscribers, when I hit 1 million downloads, there's a lot of people that will say they were part of the show and they knew the show before it hit its strides.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. You could tell people that. That's okay. Yeah, let everybody know.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, yeah. You could pretend to gas yourself up and tell them that you actually did something. But when that poll came up and all I needed was a simple question like, how did you go? You didn't do anything. Yeah. So it's like a false sense of like, I knew that guy. Yeah. I knew Nick. I knew the show. I knew when it was like small. That's what used to happen with Panetti and I. Mm. You know, Panetti and I were hitting fucking strides, and we really, we started off small, and then we were getting like 1,000 listens an episode just on the audio side. We were fucking killing it. But that was the same thing. The people that you would think would support the show, show love, this and that, they never did. Yeah. And that's okay. Because I see, and I've said this on 1,000,001 fucking episodes. Y'all, I see y'all liking Kim K's posts. Yeah. I see y'all liking Dwayne Wade's posts. When in reality, they don't give a fuck about you, and your like means dick. Means dick. Doesn't mean shit. Yeah. So, but because we're in a similar situation of, you know me through Long Island, you know me in my area, you know me through the fitness industry, you know me wherever you know me. I've done a shoot for you. I've done a shoot for people you know. Whatever it might be, you almost, you want to show love, but you don't, because you don't want to see me grow, and you don't want to see me continually step this thing up. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Ship's leaving without you anyway. I don't give a fuck.
So the one thing that I will say is that when it comes to that type of stuff, so I used to... I won't say the brand, but back in when I first got into the marketing space, I used to take that stuff very, very seriously, like very personally. I think that's also what really, I was always very competitive as a kid, but I think as I got into like the business side, I really did things. I didn't like go at people, or I didn't take it negatively. I took it personally, and I kind of used it as fuel, and like I used to kind of hold on to it at times, right? So then when you see all those faces that looked at the story, and I'm just kind of like, I got a decent amount, not as much as I usually get, to be very honest with you. I usually get a nice amount of questions, and it's usually, I keep it fun and playful. It's not about work or whatever. It's usually just straight up. But I used to take that stuff very personally when I would see a couple hundred people, maybe 1,000 people watched it. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck? I just spoke to you. Why didn't you ask a question? You know,
4 questions.
Hey, but you see what I'm saying? Yep. So like, as I've gotten older though, what I've noticed is that I stopped taking it so personally, because, and this may help you, is that everyone at the end of the day is just worried about themselves. And I'm not saying this in a negative aspect. Like, there's 2 sides to the sword, right? Or 2 sides to the story. So like, you can expect people to do things, but also what my mom taught me is don't really expect anyone to be as kind, as understanding, as empathetic as you are, because then you'll just get disappointed.
Yep.
Because it's like when you're in high school, right? And you see a bunch of kids laughing at you and you think it's about you. 99% of the time it's not, because everyone's so fucking self-absorbed and worried about themselves that they're like, oh yeah, but if the roles were reversed and you asked a question, you'd fucking, DM it to me and ask me to ask a question. That's what I did, because I was like, shit, I only got like fucking 5 questions. I need to DM some fucking people. But everyone's so not in a negative way, but everyone's so worried about themselves and how they're perceived in today's era specifically, that they'll just go on past it and they won't even think anything of it in your eyes. They just won't. It really starts at home, And the people that were raised in a sense of, oh, this could help Nick out. Why don't I just ask him a question? Takes 2 fucking seconds. They'll think that way. The majority of people, though, clearly, at least 75% of that audience.
I'd say that's low. That's a low percentage.
But I'm being generous. Yeah. Is like, they're just worried about themselves, man. And you can't fault them for that. Because, listen, at the end of the day, everyone's got to get a job, put food on the table. Everyone's got shit going on. So that's why at this point, like 8 years ago, would I have been like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah. As I've gotten older and my career has expanded and grown, I'm substantially more understanding in that facet. Like, I get it, But at the same time, like, I have bosses that probably the busiest people I know, they always find a way and always take the time to answer me. So, like, if, like, Aaron and Darren, shout out, are busy, I know that, but they always get back to me. Always. Yeah. I never get, like, an ignored text message, ever. They're just genuine people. But that's what I mean, though.
That's how I've called people out, by the way.
There's a scarcity of just genuine humans on this planet. Scarcity.
Oh, yeah.
Scarce.
Without question. But that's actually how I've called people out in the past, though. I've called people out that, like, are super close to me. I've called them out by saying, it's weird. Elon Musk can tweet all day and can play Elden Ring on Xbox. But you can't seem to just, like, give me a little interaction. Yeah. Like, and once again, I'm not expecting...
Not asking you to hold my fucking hand. Acknowledge, show some fucking respect.
Just show some love. Yeah. Because...
I don't mean to curse so much, but jeez.
There are plenty of people who I know haven't listened to the show. Oh, you're good. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, there are people that'll mute it on YouTube. If they don't want me to curse, then it's the wrong platform for me.
It's a respect thing.
But there are people that have over the course of the 3 podcasts that I've had that have never shown love on any of them, but asked to be a guest.
Okay, so
that's weird to me.
So
that's weird. Why am I going to sit down with you?
Yeah.
Like I've actually asked them, like, oh, what was your favorite episode? Oh, this one. I don't.
My favorite is, like, listen, like, I gave the podcast thing a try multiple times, and I won't even say that it failed. It's just from a time standpoint, the effort, and obviously the quality. If you're not going to put out grade A stuff, more than likely, not saying that it won't, eventually it'll get better. It's one of those things where it's like doing something's better than doing nothing. Just start. You're going to start shitty. Yeah. That's just, it took you how fucking long to get to this quality and this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it takes time because, I'm figuring all this out myself, and I really don't ask anybody anything. Like, I don't, there's nobody else that does podcasts that I personally know that I ask questions to. Yeah. There's nobody. I asked my buddy Josh, shout out to Josh Wiseman. I ask Josh every now and then maybe an audio question because he used to do processing, like audio processing and engineering for bands and whatnot, and he's an artist himself. Yeah. Maybe I ask him 1 or 2 questions over the course of how many years now. I've just had to figure this all out and do a lot of trial and error myself. What do I want to not only convey on the message standpoint, but on the quality side of things? What gear is going to give me exactly the look, the sound, everything that I'm looking for? And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all in. I'm not going to do it half-assed. I'm not going to purchase this amplifier because it's, it's $400 and the one that I really want is $1,500. It's like, no. I'm going to make that investment because not only making that investment is a good thing in the long run, but it's going to keep me dedicated to the process. Like, you spent $1,500 on that amplifier. Yeah. Use it. Yeah. Don't let it fucking sit there and collect dust. Yeah. That's been a majority of the gear that I've purchased over my entire career for video stuff. There's been a few purchases that definitely should have rented the gear. Yeah. Didn't need to buy it. Yeah. But, I've learned that over time, and now I do like a 48 to 72 hour rule. I want something and I think it's going to help me. Not only am I going to watch a bunch of videos on it and do my research, due diligence on it, but I'm going to sleep on it a couple of nights. I don't want to just make a brash decision. Like this microphone that I just bought, I have a bunch of the Shure SM7Bs. You see every podcast uses those, and they use these. These are a broadcast mic for a long time. I was looking for a new sound. I wanted something that was a little bit more broadcasty and boomy, and I thought that this matched with these could really give me I love the sound of this fucking microphone. If I could go back in time, I would buy 4 of these. I really would. But now I know. So it's just a matter of like thinking and fine-tuning things as you go along. And listen, it's a process. Life's a process. Yeah. We constantly level up. That's kind of like what we've both been dealing with on the anxiety and mental side of things. We've had years to master the fitness side. We've had years to master the dieting, the training. You've had years of baseball, athleticism, whatnot. And I did all kinds of weird shit. I did paintball and fucking jujitsu now and like all different odd type of athletic type, sports. Yeah. But it's a process. And now the next stage, which it almost feels like it's been the latest challenge, is mastering my mind.
Yeah.
Because I've always had a positive outlook on a lot of things, but with so much negative inputs and frequencies coming at you on a daily basis.
I mean, especially today. I mean, my God.
Oh, it's everything. I think I got my nails did yesterday, and I think that was the first time that I've seen a news channel in, I don't know, it's got to be at least a year and a half.
I don't watch the news.
Oh, I don't watch the news either. I don't. The only reason I subscribe to YouTube TV is for football season. That's it. Yeah. I have zero reason.
Not getting political, and I'm not trying to show sides here. The only times when I would really watch is the Trump debates.
Is the what?
The Trump debates. That's the only time.
The Trump debates.
Just pure entertainment. Like,
it's
the
wild.
guy is a machine. Like, he just steamrolls everybody. It's fucking hysterical.
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah. That football.
Yeah. That's really it. But that's it.
Yeah.
And also, too, the trial and error thing, I think today, too, man, like, there's a lot of... And it goes with, like, the instant gratification, right? Like, there's no one wants to go through the trial and error shit, and no one wants to be like, oh, everyone's so afraid of the failure, they won't just get started. Like, everyone's so afraid, oh, I want to start a podcast. Oh, well, it's going to look like shit. Just do a fucking episode and see where it goes.
It's going to look and sound like shit. And the biggest trap that I think a lot of new podcasts, if there's any free game that I can give out, is I feel like a lot of new podcasts, they don't get deep with things. And when I say get deep, there's a lot of podcasts that I've seen that will, and I said this with Jamal, they'll just make clips to make clips. Yeah. Like, it's not a conversation. Like, it's not like this isn't scripted.
No,
I didn't tell you any of this.
It's for a good TikTok with some.
That's what I'm saying.
Music,
like, it's some emotional shit where sad boy's jerking off in the corner because he's so upset about his life. Like, that's the kind of shit that they post out, and then you get all the emotional dudes and women and everything like that comment on it that are, I feel this. It's like, no. We talk about real shit, and we talk, and I keep it authentic and real. I don't want scripts. Like, I have questions that I want to ask you because I know these are open ended. And it'll steer the conversation in specific directions and whatnot. But I'm not sitting here going, all right, how can I get Nick to give me a motivational quote that I'm going to be able to get viral on TikTok? Yeah. How am I going to do that? Let's see. Let's ask him about his past. Like, I'm not... Yeah. And I find that a lot of these conversations that these podcasts are having, and my friends included, a couple of my friends are doing their own podcast and they're trying to get it off the floor, and they're like, oh, this clip did well and this did. I was like, okay, that's awesome. But like, what are y'all talking about? Because I've seen the clips and it's very low vibrational energy. And some people will be like, what does that mean, low vibrational? It means it's like a dog shit conversation. It's about fuck jokes and sex stories, and that's okay to throw in and have fun. Yeah. But like, if that's the grand theme of your podcast, you're just like all the others, man. Yeah. Stand yourself out. Be different. Have fun. Have a conversation. I love bringing all my personalities on. I love bringing Tyler on. I love bringing Jamal on. I love bringing you on. Fucking Supwolf. Greg's a whole personality on his own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all
I haven't seen Greg in a minute.
No one has. I think he evaporated. But just bringing on all these different personalities and all these different people, because we all from different walks of life, but similar mentalities. Straightforward, critical thinkers in a lot of situations, creative. Like, we're all very good on our own, but great when we come together as well. And that's what I love about this. And listen, man, my first episode, dog shit. I actually want to go listen to it. The first episode with Panetti. Yeah. That was crazy. And I tell this to people all the time. Panetti and I I think we did 70 episodes, some shit like that.
That's a lot, dude.
We did 70 episodes, and then I did 11 or 12 with Ty. And now this is 66.
Tyler, I will say this. Shout out to Ty. Tyler is gifted. I'm being serious. Like, I know he's doing his own thing. I genuinely believe he needs to get into some sort of facet, kind of like what you're doing. Yeah. But his personality is so not. I don't want to say the word electric. He's not The Rock, but just anytime I'm around that guy, I feel good. I'm happy around Tyler. He makes me laugh. Like, I've never seen someone like upset around, like, like, that dude, like, he needs to put himself out there more. I don't know what it has to, dude, his fucking Instagram stories when he flicks his hair back, he's like, all right, what's up, lady? And like,
we were talking to some girls at OG the other day. I was fucking crying, and
he's hysterical.
I guess this girl has like a stalker, like just some dude that always shows up at the coffee shop, and him and her were talking back and forth the last couple of classes, and then all of a sudden he goes, yeah, you fucking jinxed me because now I have a stalker. And we start talking, and I said, well, is it a woman? He goes, no, it's a fucking guy. I couldn't be that lucky. He goes, women don't find me attractive, or women my age. And I said, well,
oh my God, that reminds me of the IV lady.
I was like, oh shit, man.
Oh my God, I don't know.
So anyway, so it's just it's it's about just getting out and doing it. That's really what the message is. You have to just do it. You got to just have fun with it, and then just make your own spin. Because if you're going to try to do a carbon copy of like every podcast that you listen to, or every type of video creator that you listen to, or every type of marketing director and sales director, you can carbon copy some things, but you got to put your spin on it because that's what makes you you. Yeah. That's the whole point.
Yeah, and I think that translates to a lot of things, whether it be your podcast, whether it be business, whether it be like the brand that I work for. So like, it's fun. Like, there was a podcast, I forgot who it was. I think it was PJ Brown with Blackstone. I think he was like, yeah, everyone makes the same shit. It's just how you market it. And there's some.
Raise that bitch up.
There's some. There's some validity to that, right? But I think it's finding that unique step. So like, your uniqueness it's a conversation, and it's just based on personality and yourself, right? With a special brand like this, like Kaged, it's finding the right mixture of sports performance and athletics and health and wellness. We're the first brand to really combine the two and be the better for you brand. We're the first company to actually, and we have so many things in the pipeline, from marketing partnerships to certain collaborations. We're going to be unique from that aspect. And a lot of these brands out here, and it's not a negative or a knock, right? They're doing what's popular, but it's the same old shit.
Yeah, same shit. Trying to get viral on TikTok.
It's not even that. Like from a brand standpoint, there's a lot of like at my last employer with VMI, like, no one was doing Blue Shark Gummy before we did Blue Shark Gummy. So shout out to the guys when we pulled the trigger on that. But with Kaged, it's some behind the curtain stuff that I'll tell you off the mic, and the partnerships that we have. These are like first to market, like brand new, unique ideas and partnerships that really haven't been done before. Are we going to get into some spaces that have been happening frequently? Yes, but we're going to have our own special Kaged spin to it that's different and first to market. This isn't going to be some random flyby, oh yeah, they're doing fucking, Reese's Puffs protein or whatever the fuck. It's actually going to be unique, and it matches up with the brand values, better for you branding, health, wellness, and performance. So it's excited to be part of that. And obviously with, good leadership and obviously handsome East Coast directors, it makes life pretty easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
2 things. Number 1, you keep talking to the side of the microphone. I will
no, you won't.
Beat you and kiss you all at the same time. Move that microphone.
What?
Look, no, move it back. Yeah, there you go. But look, then you start talking like this.
No, I'm not. I'm talking shit up.
Nah, you've been talking like this. I'm gonna watch you.
Whatever.
Looking right at your mouth.
Yeah, whatever.
That's right.
Pause.
No pause. A couple points, and then I want to get into your history.
Sure.
Obviously how we've known each other for years, because there are going to be some listeners that don't know our history and where we first met, and that's kind of where I want to get things started and rocking and rolling. But I found it interesting. There was a news article. Jon Stewart, Jon Stewart. Yeah. Jon Stewart left the Daily Show a long time ago, and his first endeavor back was going to be with Apple. So Apple has its own network called Apple TV Plus, whatever the bullshit, all these pluses. I'm exhausted. But so basically, they were cool with it until Jon started having guests on to talk about AI in China. And now Apple just terminated, from what I understand, the contract with him, and they don't want to be a part of that. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but there are no sides. Like, there doesn't need to be sides to stuff like this. What we need as a collective society is to have open dialogue on every aspect. Doesn't matter your viewpoints. We need open dialogue on every viewpoint. Even if you despise something that I believe in, we have to have that dialogue. Yeah. Because if you don't, now we're just being told what to think and say, and we're too dystopian, and we're too robotic and, take me to your leader type of fucking just society types things. So I saw that article, and I was just amazed that it really has gotten to that point of we can't talk about certain things because Apple obviously gets their stuff made in China.
Of course.
And they have ties to China. And I'm sure if you dig deep enough in the file system that the Apple TV Plus new, channel and production side of things, I'm sure there's some funding in there from China as well. So whatever the standpoint is in general, I think just a message, and it's kind of just left field. It has nothing to do with you and I. But when I read things like that, it bothers me because I have friends with kids. I have godkid. You have a godson, like a nephew. You have to look at the world and the way that it's going.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that that's really fucked if we're going to allow shit like that.
Yeah.
All of y'all remember the fact checkers, right? On every fucking post that you put up. Any fucking post. Didn't matter what it was. Fact check. Yeah. That is fucking crazy that y'all can't have your own opinions and you can't just believe in something that you believe in and that's that. You have to, oh, nope, this is the only way that it can be.
And then like this conversation always turns political, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be. It's life.
But this again, it always gets political because that's what people kind of point to. People are going to assume whether what aisle you stand on or I stand on, right? Based on our opinion, like the fact checker thing, like, dude, it was ridiculous at one point. Like at some point, you have to kind of question, like, hey, like, what can I not voice my opinion?
No, you can't.
But then that's the thing, right? That's where it gets scary, is because now we're timing all of these things around certain, let's call it, proceedings and events that occur, and now we're kind of throwing a blanket over it. And what scares me, at least, is like, I've heard nothing about that, and as a society, we've kind of just forgotten it, and we're just gonna mosey on. Okay, it's over. Let's just continue.
Yep.
And
next thing, next world catastrophe that we have to get to now.
Exactly.
And next, milestone of bad news. So while with saying all of this, I think one of the most important things that we can convey is you have to not only focus on you, but if you believe in something, you have to just stick to your guns.
Yeah.
You got to stick to your guns. You got to understand that it's cool. Like if you hear another opinion or you hear someone else that brings another argument, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to backtrack and say, you know what? I believed this. Yeah. You showed me that that's not actually the case. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. Like
or I fucked up. Yeah. Okay.
I fucked up. Well, there's no accountability. That's the other thing. We talk about that a lot. There's no accountability. I happily say on the podcast, if I'm incorrect in something, somebody comments and I will happily say, oh, I fucked up. My bad. My word is not stone. Like it's not something that I say is not like engraved.
That's the scary part too, right? It's like, is now like you'll see with like, I'm not trying to get into cancel culture on this episode, but like when
it's such a slippery slope.
I know, you just go right down. But what happens is like, listen, man, like people are going to say things in their past that'll come up and things that they don't mean or whatever. And people's opinions are allowed to change. Does that mean that you should fucking castrate these people and completely wipe them off the face of the earth and their existence? Nope. No, these people have families. These people have friends. These people are allowed to change their points of view. And like you said, just sticking with your guns, it's okay if you do that, but also having some sense of accountability.
The pitchforks and the torches come out too quick. Everyone relax.
Exactly, man.
Take a chill pill. Stop watching the fucking news.
And no one's fucking perfect, bro.
And as Andre says, and I said it with Jamal, I scroll past videos that I don't agree with all day. I see something that I don't agree with or that I know is incorrect information. Yeah. That I know, but I don't leave a comment. I don't report the video because fuck my 2 cents. It doesn't matter. Because that person's going to do what they want to do, and it's cool. Because now if I come at them, then it's like this whole movement of you versus me, and it's an attack. It's not just a conversation. That's a big problem in a lot of industries, fitness, world, politics. It's a not being able to have a conversation where both parties that don't agree with one another on a subject or a topic can't sit down and say, this is what I believe, and this is the reasoning behind it. And then you say, this is what I believe, this is the reasoning behind it. And then we have open dialogue that's friendly.
Dude, families have been fucking torn apart with that shit.
Torn apart. It's insane. It's insane.
I've gotten into it with family members.
I've gotten into it with plenty of family members. And guess what? Now, you know what I say? When some, because I know they're never going to change standpoint. They're never going to, now my point, okay.
But the thing is,
I go, okay.
But the resolution to that though is like, you're still going to talk to your family member. It's not like you see what I'm saying? You're accepting of that though.
Oh yeah.
But like, that's what's missing though, is the tolerance of other people's opinions and allowing them to have such, and not just having this, regardless of what area you seem to believe in, let's just call it that, to stay away from politics, is like, you need to have some relatability and ability in itself to just like, you are allowed to have your own fucking opinions.
Yeah, it's cool. I respect that people have their own opinions. But if you're going to start pushing your shit on me and telling me that I'm stupid because I don't believe in the same thing as you, then we have a problem. So that article I found fucking insane that they're terminating that. But at the same time, not shocked. Unfortunately, not shocked in nowadays.
Yeah, they got a safe face.
Yeah, so I got one more story. For you. I'm walking Kenji yesterday. And Kenji doesn't like other dogs. There was a golden retriever walking towards us. And this is on mindset and how miserable people are. And actually kind of fits into what we were just talking about. How people are just so fucking nuts and they just don't understand, like, you could be wrong. It's okay. So whenever I see another dog walking on the sidewalk coming towards us, I always move Kenji off. I always move Kenji off the sidewalk, let them go past, or I cross the street. I don't want to deal with it. Dogs act crazy around Kenji because he's intact still has his nuts, and they can sense that, the dogs. They go nuts. Males want to fight. So I usually just try to take him out of the situation. So I saw them walking towards us, and I moved Kenji into the street. And the wife is holding the dog, and I see the husband. He's got sunglasses on. He's walking towards us, and he calls the wife back, and she goes back to talk to him. And they're standing there talking for like maybe 15, 20 seconds. Now I'm standing here, and I'm like, I see the guy looking at me in the window, like the reflection. I'm waiting for y'all to pass. Like I'm not standing in the middle of the road because I know the second I walk back to the sidewalk, they'll start walking again. Then I'll have to just go right back out. Yeah. Whatever. So she starts walking again. She's holding the dog. It's a big dog. It's a big golden. And it looks at Kenji. Kenji's just standing there staring at it, and it barks and growls right at Kenji. Kenji's got that dog in him. He's like, all right, we going? This is it. He gets on his hind legs trying to pull to get to this dog. Now I'm holding Kenji back by the collar. There's a hand grip. I'm holding him back. As I'm doing that, the wife can't hold the dog back. So the dog is getting closer and closer, but she's walking by super slow, like and she's smiling like nothing's going on. Her dog is snarling at Kenji. Kenji's snarling at her dog. So I look at her and I go, can you please move the dog a little quicker? Can you please, because I'm holding him back. Can you please move the husband gets in my face. He goes, what did you just say? I said, can you please move the dog faster? What does that even mean, bro? What does that even mean? Screaming in my face. I went, you need to take that energy down. And I was wearing this, but in blue. I was like, you need to take that energy down and fucking relax. Let me just tell you that right out the gate. And I'm holding Kenji still by the neck as he's pulling to get to this dog. The wife's still walking, and the dude is going off on me. He's just being a nasty fucking human being. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, you know what, man? I said, I hope you have a great day because you seem not okay. I was like, you need to have a good day. He goes, you know what? I hope you have a good day. I said, I will. I always do. And he goes, really? With the fucking tank top on? I said, yeah. I knew you'd love that. I said, right in his face. I fucking smart right in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, with the tank top on. I said, try me. Yeah. And I walk away. Yeah. And this motherfucker he's walking the other way. Walking away from the situation, but mouthing off still. Yeah. I was like, bro.
I would have let the dog go.
Oh man, yeah, but then he's gonna kill the dog, and then I have to answer the law, and they're gonna try to put Kenji down. I was like, oh god, but I didn't know that it's just miserable,
dude. Accountability, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I told my mom. I called her right after. I was shaking. I was so mad. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. And I told her, I was like, that's a dude who beats his wife in private and doesn't have any accountability his whole life. Yeah. He's gotten away scot-free. Yeah. No one's ever challenged him. Yeah. I'm like, yo, I swear to God, man, that's the dude that 32 years of just being in control of my own self and not getting into fist fights and shit like that. That would have been the dude that ruined it for me. Okay, Baldy, here we go. Like now I got to pop that head like a zit. Yeah. But it's a societal thing. So anyway, I just want to tell you that. That was a fun little story. Back to you. Back to you. Yeah. So I have like little jot down notes that I want to cover. But you and I had the privilege of meeting back in the day. Yeah. And back in those days, it was the MFit days. Yeah. Seems like a lifetime ago. It really does. Yeah. It really wasn't that long ago, but it does feel like a lifetime ago. And I just wanted to just kind of touch upon, I know you Nature's Bounty was your original company.
Nature's Bounty, yeah. So
Nature's Bounty was the original company, and getting involved in the supplement industry at a younger age at that point. Yeah. And I want to just know the journey through the supplement industry and why you decided to pursue a career in that.
Yeah. So I think I love telling the beginning part is because because of my own ignorance, like it was because of my dad. You go back to like this. Oh yeah, yeah. So not. That's a pause. Yeah, but no. So I always thank my dad for not getting me in this industry, but pushing me to do so. So I was right out of college, and my dad was famously looking at his paper, and he's like, "Hey, there's a job fair." I think I've told you the story before. There's a job fair at like the Marriott, right? And I wanted to be a firefighter growing up. That was like my dream job, firefighter or a cop. Wanted to be a first responder because shout out to the first responders.
Shout out.
Real heroes.
We have a lot of, side note, we have a lot of friends, a lot of respect. It's a fucking tough job. It's not easy. And that's love.
I end up going to the job fair, right? And I'm in the parking lot. And I'm like, maybe I'll just like sit in the car and I'll go home and I'll tell my dad like I went in and whatever. Fuck it. Like I'll throw out a couple resumes that I brought with me and that'll be that. And I'm like, something told me, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just go walk in. At the time, the Nature's Bounty Company was called NBTY, right next to the NYPD booth.
Okay.
So then I was like, I go to NYPD. I was like, fuck that shit. I'm not going to touch NBTY. I was like, I'm not fucking real.
A lot of respect for it, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I was like, I want to be a cop. I want to help the people of this city, and that's what I wanted to do. And you know what? I give my resume to NBTY just in case. I'm like, maybe one day, I'll make some pre-workouts and help somebody out.
Help the bros out.
Little did I fucking know that my 3 years there, I ended up getting a call from Nature's Bounty saying, hey, can you come in just for an interview? Like we need help in the regulatory department, like labeling, international registrations. Long story short, I started off in label development for Nature's Bounty, Metrics, Rexall Sundown, Solgar, Pure Protein, Body Fortress, those brands, right? I started out there in label development, regulatory. Then I got promoted to international registrations, and then I was doing that for about 2 years, and that was the regulatory background. And then I went over to a pharmaceutical company that needed regulatory help. Long story short, about 6 months into that, they were starting a sports nutrition brand, MFit. I believe they're still around. Don't want to talk about them too much. But the owner came to me and they said, hey, listen, like we need help. We need you to formulate some products. Long story short, I ended up formulating close to about 30 SKUs.
And at the time, you didn't have any real formulation background.
No, I was 25.
Yeah.
And I based it all off my knowledge and what I loved about the space and products that I use, products that I liked. Because listen, people can come with the formulas. Everyone's looking at different supplements for reference. Like no one's just pulling shit out of their ass. No one is. Everyone can tell you that, oh, this is my formula. Okay, but...
Yeah, taking inspiration.
But you took inspiration from something else. So don't fucking tell me that. That's one other topic. But I was there for 3 years. I had at the time of my life there. I met one of my best friends, Guy's sister Nino there. We still hang out and talk to this day. Went to the Olympia, Dubai Muscle Show, FIBO in Shanghai, the Olympia. Like we were supposed to go to UK and Australia. And then the pandemic happened. Right. And I was laid off, which is really tough to talk about. And, some people get embarrassed by that. But I think having the introverted thought process of you really do go through everything for a reason. And I was laid off. Right. And I want to say about 3 weeks later, I get, which was really cool. I got a call from Jay Cutler. And Guy connected us. He's like, hey, like, what do you do? Guy makes fun of me because Jay was like, what do you even do, bro?
That's good shit.
I was 27, 28. And I'm like, fucking Jay Cutler's asking me what I'm doing right now. Like, and what I can do for him. And that was really cool. And he probably doesn't even remember that phone call. But that's why, like, even now, like, if buddies of mine, like, want to try a product, I send it to them. You don't know what one fucking phone call product or can, like, dude, make someone's fucking life, dude. That one phone call that Jay gave me 15 minutes of his time. He doesn't know this. He definitely doesn't even fucking remember because he gets hundreds of phone calls a day. He made my dude. He such positively impacted my life and like, oh shit, like I am capable. I can do this. Fucking Jay Cutler's on the phone. It meant a lot. And then 2 days later, after I got off the phone with Jay, Tom Riley called me from VMI. He's like, hey, come in. Let's just talk. Long story short, we hit it off and it went great. And then the past 3 years were their best performing years in company history. And long story short.
And without you saying that, I will say I think that there's a lot of merit that needs to be thrown your way for that.
Thank you.
Because you definitely. So I saw a huge, because I remember I knew them prior to
me
joining the team.
Yeah.
So I saw what the operation was like prior, and it was always good.
Yeah.
It's not that it was a bad operation, but you definitely elevated it to another level that I don't believe they would have been able to do without you.
Thank you.
You brought a younger, more youthful spin on some of the stuff that they were doing. You had the connections. You were able to do a lot of those things. And this isn't shit talking. This is just being totally transparent about what you see from the outside in.
Yeah, no, and listen, we had a blast. We accomplished a lot, and I was the marketing director there for close to 3.5 years, and then I just needed to change a pace. And thankfully, I knew, ironically, Darren, the VP of sales over at Kaged, I met him when I worked for MFit, when we got onto bodybuilding.com. And me and him just always got along. We always clicked. This randomly, he would just hit me up like, Merry Christmas. Like, dudes like that are just good,
nice. Yeah,
good people,
keeping
bro.
the connection open.
Exactly. He's just a good dude. And
doesn't just hit you up when he has a question or needs something. It's just more of a, hey, just I hope everything's great.
Oh, now we need stuff because he's my boss. He's my boss now. But
emails have changed.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I need this fucking done right now.
Get this shit done now.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Did you call that GNC? Well, fucking let's go.
Yeah, get it done.
Yeah. No, he's fantastic. But I met Darren and we were talking for a little bit, and it worked out, and now I'm the director of the East Coast for one of the fastest growing brands in the world. And that's how I landed here at Kaged. And it was just a fit. Ironically, I was a Kaged brand ambassador in college.
Oh, that's cool.
So like, it was a really cool full circle story for me to tell. I haven't even really told it. But I was a brand ambassador in college, and like, I worked for Nature's Bounty. I was a Kaged ambassador for like 3 years. I loved that brand. And then I do find it very cool that they moved away from Kaged muscle. They got rid of the muscle.
Yeah.
Because we're not just a bodybuilding brand. We're the first brand that's taking sports performance, health and wellness, and really meeting it in the middle. We have your pre-workouts. We have your middle of the ground pre-workout. We have, I forgot to bring you that one, the Elite Pre, which is the most fully loaded pre-workout, bodybuilding pre-workout, like on planet Earth. You
don't have to worry about pre's with me. I haven't really taken that many, to be honest with you.
We have nootropics.
There's the mindset one I'm very interested in.
We have fish oils. We have multivitamins. We have aminos. We have like literally everything. We use Max Catalyst, which we have the trademark for, that increases absorption of beta-alanine, citrulline. I'm not talking like 10, 15%. Dude, like, we're talking 50, 60, citrulline. I think beta-alanines are like over 100% absorption. So like, we're differentiating ourselves, and the brand, the messaging, the meaning, the tagline, never stop evolving.
Yeah, I just saw that on the back.
So like, that really connected with me because, dude, I was in the marketing space for 7-8 years, and now I'm not necessarily in marketing really anymore. Like, I still like play around here and there. They let me, touch certain things.
Yeah, but they actually have a department for it now.
Exactly. But now I'm really with Darren and the commercial team, and like, man, it's a hell of a change of pace. And I am taking pride, and instead of being fearful in evolving, I'm kind of embracing it. And this is where I love how these episodes always come full circle. Like, I'm embracing me being anxious, because if I wasn't anxious and nervous and like fearful almost, then that means I don't give a fuck.
You don't care and you're not alive.
Exactly. And I'm really embracing the fact that, yeah, dude, I need to learn new things. Yeah, dude, like I really do need to lean into that. But everything that I've learned from yesterday, because, dude, I'm learning every day here at this brand, because fucking rocket ship, dude, like to the fucking moon. I've seen the fucking numbers. It's insane. So it's exciting, but I'm really embracing the fact that I do need to keep evolving. I do need to keep learning. I do need to keep growing. And the cool thing about it is that I'm not like in some pressure cooker. I have two people that understand that where I'm coming from, my skill set. That's why I got hired there. If I wasn't ready, or if I wasn't meant to be in that specific place at that time, then I never would have fucking got this job. And that's what I want the message to be, besides we're talking like full circle and like surroundings, is just like a dose of putting people at ease. Is every day you're going to have certain anxieties, certain things that bother you, but just have some reassurance that whatever you're going through, you are exactly where you are meant to be at that very moment in time. Whether you are going through something difficult, something great, take a moment to take a step back and realize that at the end of the day, most of the time, and I mean like 95% of the time, unless it's like otherworldly or like earth-shattering, you're going to be okay and it's going to work out. But you have to have faith in that process and knowing that, all right, whether this is positive or negative, I'm meant to go through this for that next step. And we all, sometimes get anxious, and we think about, you're like this, you're like me in this way. We're thinking 5-6 steps ahead. Shit, all right, what's the next topic? Who's the next guest? What do I got to do? I got to call this store. I got to call this franchise. I got to do this and that and the other. And we tend to overthink. We're always trying to be 10 steps ahead when you should just focus on the next step. Mm-hmm. Just focus on that next one and literally watch your anxiety dissipate. And that's really the approach I've taken in my career.
Yeah. The next step is the most important step.
Yeah.
Because without that next step, you can't get to the 5th, the 10th, the 15th, the 20th.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah, and shout out, and also I want to give credit where credit's due. Tom Riley taught me that. Is like, dude, instead of fucking, I know you want to do so much. I know you want to accomplish so much. Like, just get this done first. Just do that. Okay. And my dad too. Just keep chipping away, bro. Taking the baseball axiom. Just keep chipping away, dude. That's all you can do. And that's really the mindset that literally everyone has here at Kaged. I talked to Darren this morning. He's in Texas. Yesterday was his fucking 5-year wedding anniversary. He's in Texas pitching more stuff to GNC, right? So, like, he's very, very patient and to a sense of, dude, all right, I know this is a lot. This is first step. Second step. If you need anything, let me know. That level of understanding is very rare when it comes to employment, especially now in this space, because it's instant gratification, all that shit. But other than that, it's a fantastic brand. I'm excited where we're headed. I've given you tidbits. Where we're going with this it's just adding gasoline to the fire.
Kerosene.
Oh yeah,
and kerosene. Fuck gasoline.
Yeah.
Kerosene.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you kind of covered it, but one of the questions I did have was changing companies each time has led to a larger role with more responsibilities. Yeah. What prompted your desire to move into larger roles each time? And that slogan is kind of perfect for it.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong. Like, I would say this is the first role that I've had that I don't want to say it scares me because it's different. It's definitely a new challenge, and it's something that I technically haven't done before. It's a lot of relationship building, which I'm good at. But there's only so much time in a day, and there's so many people I have to get into contact with. Yeah. So that's the challenge that I'm seeing, and obviously it's new, right? Time allocation, time blocking. I'm gonna spend 3 hours on this, 2 on this, 1 hour on this. Hey, don't forget to eat again. That's happened 3 days in a row. So like,
I'm fasted right now, so you're good. Just do some fast like your boy Nicky, man. I'm fucking I'm 19 hours in right now, almost 20 hours in. I feel good, man. Mental clarity, bro. You start 18 hours, you start sharpening up.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy how it works. I'm telling you, you gotta try it.
Yeah, I don't know.
My boy Gabe just did a 24-hour fast yesterday. So I want to get back to you on this, but this is actually a good topic for a lot of people that not only want to lose weight. I do it more so for the autophagy and the health benefits, the insulin resistance, whatnot, and just giving my digestive tract a rest. Shouts to John Meadows. Missed that man so much. Loved him. But he was preaching about fasting in the early 10s, like the mid to early 10s, when really there weren't a lot of people talking about it. And one of the things that he always used to say was, us as bodybuilders, I like to do a fast at least once a week because
you're eating every 2 hours.
Bro, it's crazy. Dudes are just packing the food into their fucking body on a consistent basis. The only time they don't eat is when they're fucking sleeping. Yeah. And even then, some dudes get up in the middle of the night to get another shakedown or get something else down. Your body never has a chance to just chill and feel hungry. You're hungry, but more so it's just because maybe your blood sugar is crashing. You're not actually in tune with your stomach actually needing sustenance and food. Yeah. So I've really enjoyed the process of fasting. People ask me all the time. They text, they DM me and whatnot. They go, do you do a strict 18 or what is it, 18-6?
Yeah,
I think
18-6,
it is, or 24. 20 hours fasted, 4 hours of eating. Not really. I kind of just go based on what I feel like. Yeah. I have found that it has substantially helped me recover from a cheat meal. So if I have a large cheat meal on a Sunday, a meal plus like some dessert, too. Yeah, what I do is I'll have that as my last meal on like a 2-3 p.m. time slot. I'll take fiber. I'll take a full scoop of Citracel, and I'll take another scoop of Metamucil.
You should try Fiberlize. Metamucil.
I used to use Fiberlize. No, it's not Metamucil. Psyllium husk.
Oh no, yeah, Psyllium husk.
Psyllium husk. Yep. So I use a scoop of Psyllium husk and a scoop of Citracel. And I have found that I'll have that as my last meal, and then I'll fast for a minimum of 18-20 hours. Not only does my weight not go up, I feel great the next day. I don't feel like bogged down from the food, because normally I'd have my cheat meal and then I'd continue eating my regular food to hit the rest of my macros or, whatever imaginary thought process I had at the time. But my body didn't need any more fucking food. Yeah. Like, okay, maybe you're not gonna hit your protein goal, but it's not the end of the world. You'll be okay, bro. Yeah, you're not competing. You're not competing. You're not a pro bodybuilder. Like, no one gives a fuck at the end of the day. It's like, eat when you're hungry, don't eat when you're not. You'll be okay. Everything's gonna work out. Yeah. So I've really been enjoying the fasting because the health benefits, but also I feel good, man. Like the other day, I hit 22 hours, 23 hours. Didn't even bat an eye. I looked at the clock and I went, oh, I should probably have some food. Like I went, I shot a video, I did a podcast, I had a massage later in the afternoon. And then, I went to jujitsu in the middle of the day. I had a podcast in the afternoon. And then I just finished with with my massage. And I was like, oh shit.
Gotta eat.
It's been like 23 hours. I should probably just eat something. Because I'm not really trying to fast. I just do it. And it's easy. And I feel good. So, director can be a daunting task and title.
Yeah.
I wanted to phrase it.
Yeah, that was nice.
I wanted to phrase it real dramatic.
Yeah, that was nice.
Director can be a daunting task and title. And how have you transitioned into it so gracefully? And are there any key practices to your success that you're seeing early on?
I wouldn't call it graceful.
You could say that.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it graceful, man. It's to be very honest, I give all the credit to leadership and to the people that entrusted me with this position. And we're gonna be what the cool part is, we're gonna be hiring people under me. That's really cool. And same with Spencer. He's our new central director. He's a great dude. Veteran, by the way. Thank you for your service, Spencer.
Love it. Thank you.
Exactly. But I attest the gracefulness or lack thereof to my bosses, man. Like Darren has been amazing. And listen, I've been with Kaged for 2 weeks, right? It has been, the first week was tough. I will say that. Just getting adjusted and the new platforms that we're doing and pulling the data and, okay, just getting into your workflow. Right, my fucking Notion. I lost my Notion password, or like I got locked out. Absolute nightmare. Yeah. Shout out to Joey Camarda. Joey Camarda put me onto Notion.
Yeah, Notion's cool.
About a year ago. But yeah, man, no, I attest the ease of transition to leadership, to Aaron, to Darren, to the team. Spencer's been great with any questions that I have because this is a new role for me. It's a new experience, and no, just the team again. Your surroundings, the team that I am a part of has been so supportive. Any questions I have, and also too, like I'm one of those guys who'll be like, "Hey, sorry to bother you. I know I have like mad questions." Every response I get is, "Dude, you're not bothering me. Like you're learning. It's like,
it's a process."
Exactly, and it's coming from a place of understanding, but also too, it's a reassurance, right? But at the same time, I think there's something to be said about your self-talk and saying like, "Hey." Like, even though I have all these questions or I may be unsure, I'm fucking here for a reason. You think they would hire a fucking schmuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's you've accomplished a lot, and it's even though you're learning, you still have that self-belief that, yeah, dude, even though I do have, because no one can say they don't have any doubt in their brain. You always have doubt.
Consistently.
Exactly.
In every area of life, you will have doubt.
But it's not, your strength isn't measured in your lack of doubt. Your strength is measured in your persistent belief in yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because you're going to have all that doubt, but like it really depends on what you do with that. Are you going to be like, all right, I'm just going to procrastinate and fucking play Clash of Clans on my phone, like, for 3 hours, or okay, let me allocate my time. Let me ask Spencer how he approaches this. How does he do that? Let me Google how to whatever. How do I organize myself better so I can execute better for this brand and my business and just your job as a whole, right? So I think it's being self-sufficient and just having that continuous self-belief that you can make that adjustment, because you wouldn't be where you are if you fucking couldn't. You're there for a reason. You're not some fucking dude that came out of nowhere. You have a track record. Dude, I've had to have this talk with myself 3 fucking times. But it's as time goes on.
I want to emphasize how crucial that is, because it's not uncommon, and it's so common. Yeah. And self-talk is really, really hammers home.
Bro,
when you truly don't believe in yourself, or you feel like things are off,
fucked, dude.
Everything happens like at off.
Yeah.
And then once you start actually replicating a positive self-talk, like, I got this, I'm just going to get it done. And exactly what you said, like the procrastination thing. Yeah. I've fallen victim to that plenty of times, as opposed to like, I don't know how to do this in a video. I don't know how to do this specific piece. I used to let it just derail me and sabotage me. I just wouldn't do it, and I just wouldn't finish anything. And then I'd look and I'm like, holy shit! I just because this one thing that I didn't know how to do, I didn't do the rest of everything, and then it piles up and you get irritated and you're fucking. And
dude, that happened to me yesterday, literally yesterday. Like I was like, I had so many calls to make yesterday. I overbooked myself next week too. Like, I'm visiting stores here and there, but what I think also another full circle moment is like, it's like we said, you're always going to have that self-doubt, and you're looking for positive things to kind of reinforce, like, oh, I can't do this, I do belong. That's why I always say, or at least I always try to, like, if someone wants to try a product, or someone who, like, I can say kids now because I'm over 30. If a kid comes up to me at Bev's, or especially a ProFit, because that place is full of them, I love ProFit, Like if someone comes up to me there, right, and they're like, oh, I want to get to the business, or someone DMs me and asks a question, or if a store owner asks me something for samples or shirts, I send it. I give them my 2 minutes of time. It's 2 fucking minutes. Like it goes back to when Jay called me and made me feel like $1 million fucking dollars. He wasn't calling me to give me a job, probably. He was calling me just to be like, hey, this kid just got laid off. Let me just, make him feel at home. Let me make him be like, hey man, you are good. You are, valued. You are like, and reassuring me in that facet, right? That's why, like, again, if someone needs help, I'm going to help them. You don't know what that little thing that you just did could positively affect their headset, their self-talk, and their day moving forward. And that can then have a trickle effect. And maybe I say something nice to you and you're like, oh shit, Nick, that really made my day. Then you go tell Tyler something nice and you give him a compliment. You say, hey man, you're valued. I love you. Then he goes to somewhere else, etc. And it has a trickle effect. That's really the premise of what it is, and it stems from who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah.
And that's where that self-talk comes in, because there's going to be, even if you're surrounded with the top 1% of positive people, there's always going to be something. But it's how you deal with it, bro. Like you can be the most positive person in the world, and you could have shit thrown at you all the time, and it's really how you react and how you use that negative shit and how you talk to yourself to kind of get yourself out of that headspace.
I couldn't agree more, man. I was thinking of things that I wanted to just like input with and just like add as footnotes or something like that to what you just said. There's nothing. It couldn't be more accurate. And it's just safeguarding that mentality, safeguarding that headspace. That's really where it comes important. Just making sure that, you constantly amp yourself up, because an example would be like Tony Robbins, Bedros Keuilian, like these guys, before they do podcasts, before they do live talking engagements, they've both said it. And I'm sure Bedros got it from Tony. Tony's been doing it for fucking decades. Yeah. But they talk about amping yourself up and getting in the right, I forget what Tony says exactly. I know he says changing. He'll shout at you. He'll be like, move your body, get excited, like get amped up, get excited. Bedros will jump around in the corner before he goes out on stage to do a speaking engagement and go, I'm going to do the best job that I can. I'm going to do an amazing job. They're going to love the presentation. I've done it with podcasts lately. Get yourself amped up, get excited. I said to myself, I was brushing my teeth before you got here. I was like, this is going to be a fucking amazing episode. I'm going to have such a good time with Nick. I'm going to have such a good conversation. We're going to have great talking points, and there's going to be a lot of value for everybody that listens to this episode. I can't wait. Like, saying that and reinforcing it. And then every time I've done that for a podcast, I look back and I go, damn, it was a great episode. Like, I had a great time. And not to say I wouldn't if I didn't, but it just reinforces you and makes you feel better about things if there's any doubt. Yeah.
So like the funny thing you said, that like right next to when I talked about writing down 5 positive things to start your day, right next to it, I write a note of whether it be essentially like talk with purpose, or like today's the day, or like something like that, to kind of really kind of set the theme. And even though you're giving yourself positive talk, you're going to do, and I don't want any like confusion, right? There's still going to be shitty things that happen.
Always.
But again, it's training your mind and almost becoming, it's a David Goggins quote, right? Callousing your mind. You can be as positive as you want, but it's how you really deal with the shit, how you really deal with the bullshit. And that only comes with time and experience. You can say and write down all the positive shit you want. It's really your approach. And I really do believe your approach is obviously through experience. Can't take that away. But again, I can't stress this enough. If you surround yourself with shitty fucking weak-minded people who aren't supportive, who don't give you positive self-talk, and I'm not asking for compliments, but or at least like who want the best for you, what the fuck you think's gonna happen? What examples have you been given and how to approach those situations? So like, dude, I say this all the time. You're not gonna hear me come on here and tell you this fucking glorious, story of how I had a fucking dog shit father and I didn't have a mother at home and I came from nothing and I'm a success now. No, I had the best fucking dad in the world. He is the fucking man. My mom is the shit. She's my best friend. I had 2 amazing parents that raised a hell of a sister who's now a mother of my nephew. I have 2 amazing parents that raised a really good looking son in me. And
Fire.
but the thing is, like, I had an amazing example that a lot of people don't have. I'm so fucking grateful for that. I can go to my dad with whatever I need. I tell my mom literally everything, probably too fucking much.
Me too.
Way
Your
too.
mom's name Karen too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dick and Dick. Karen,
Yeah,
Karen.
exactly.
Perfect.
But the thing is like, I'm not gonna tell that story. I'm so grateful of that, and that's literally the first two things that I write down every morning. I have two amazing parents. I still have a grandmother that's still around who I still got to call when we leave. Like, it's being so grateful of the things that you have in your life that it's almost infectious, that it affects your job, it affects your new bosses, it affects your friends, it affects your family, it affects the significant other, and it has this trickle down effect. But you always have to keep in the back of your mind, and this comes with how you were raised, right? How are you going to weather the storm when shit doesn't go your way? It's very easy to be positive and happy when shit's like, yeah, I got a new job. Like, this is great.
I got another retainer client. It's great. And money's just flowing in.
Exactly. Like, I got paid for the first time today. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right. Well, dude, yesterday's calls were rough. Like, I got a few people that didn't fucking answer me, and I got people asking me, hey, did you talk to this person? Yeah, I called them 3 times, didn't pick it up. Well, why the fuck not? And it's like, oh shit, like, all right, like, how am I going to not weather the storm, but it's your approach. What do you do when things aren't so easy? What do you do when, like, things aren't going so well? That's how you really measure it as a person. I don't look at, like, my values as a friend. I don't look at you as a person and the quality of person that you are based on how successful your podcast is. I look at, like, I want to see how Nick acts when he can't get a fucking guest. That, dude, I'm telling you, that is the true measure of a man in my eyes. That's what always my dad told me. When he's faced with adversity, how does this person act? Do they like, oh, fuck it, let me chop it up. Fuck this, I'm good. I could have been complacent and stayed where I was. I wanted a challenge. And that's the path that I took.
Evolution.
Never stop evolving.
Never stop evolving. That's what it is.
Full circle. Jeez.
Full circle. It's crazy how that happens. Yeah, when I don't have a guest, I just do a solo episode and I just ramble.
Yeah, see, this is why you need ice and coffee.
Why?
It's fucking warm.
Is yours not cold still?
It's okay.
Stop it.
It's subpar.
You see, I still got foam in mine. See, here's what happened. You got the logo, so you got the cool cup,
yeah,
but yours is not as cold.
I
got the bitch cup,
yeah,
but mine's colder. They knew that you were my
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, they knew that you were my sugar daddy, and I'm just always just beneath you. So they were just like,
that's bullshit.
Here, give the little bitch the colder cup.
Bullshit, man. I got this fucking lukewarm coffee.
All right, well, you know what? Next to the rain fridge, next time I will make sure that I have an espresso machine that does chilled beverages specifically for my babe Nick.
Listen, you may have something else in there. Hint.
Oh, hint.
Never know.
Listen,
never know.
I got plenty of room in the new space, so hint. Taken.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy because exactly what we were just talking about was bringing me to my next kind of question topic, which is. What are some personal insights to your philosophy when it comes to leadership and team management? And then my sub point for that was, we've all seen how teams fall apart when it's done improperly. Can you give some examples of what people shouldn't do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think in terms of, like, OCD.
You're good. Yeah, dust that bitch off. You good.
Merchandising.
Dude.
For years.
That's cool, baby.
Yeah, so to be honest, in terms of, like, team leading and essentially having success in that facet, right? I'm very big on, like, if you bring somebody in and they're in your team, number one, don't have this, like, rite of passage mentality where, oh, well, this person has to do X, Y, and Z to have an opinion. No, you fucking hired them. Let them have an opinion. I think that obviously experience plays a role, but if you're going to hold, like, a grudge, or if you're going to bring somebody in and not value their opinions from day one, I understand paying your dues. I understand doing certain things. But if you're going to bring somebody in and be part of a family and part of a team, let them do their job. Let them give their opinions. Now, there needs to be boundaries. Totally get that. But what happens is when you do play that card of, like, this person belongs, or this person does, or this person doesn't, what happens is it creates a dichotomy of, like, people being gun shy on giving their opinions, when in fact that person's opinion that may only have a year or two experience in the industry may give an opinion that changes the fucking landscape of your brand or your business in general. It doesn't even have to be a brand. But having an open dialogue, I'm very big on. And also, too, let the person do their job. No micromanaging. That's just my shtick. Granted,
you hired him for a reason. You brought
Exactly.
them, you brought them into the team because you not only saw
Exactly.
the accolades that they've accomplished and achieved,
Exactly.
but you have some type of faith in them. You
Exactly.
wouldn't, like you said before, you wouldn't just hire a schmuck. You wouldn't just hire some
Exactly.
fucking guy that's gonna. I mean, some companies might, but
Yeah.
generally, you wouldn't just hire somebody that's just gonna sit there and fill a seat. You want to hire somebody that's gonna be a team player, that's gonna push this company forward, and gonna continue driving the mission statement that y'all try to achieve every single day.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. When I was speaking to Darren before I joined the team, I was not hesitant, but I was like, hey man, like, I don't really come from that side of the business. I do have some experience in that facet, but I just want it to be as optimal and easy of a transition as possible. He made this analogy that just made so much sense. Was like, dude, I'm not like, when we're starting a team, right? If we're starting a baseball team, would I have catchers at each position? Like, you need to have different skill sets, and having that variety of skill set, right? It allows so many points of differentiation and different angles. Like, oh shit, I did not think of it that way. But having that approach, it requires you to remove ego. And I've worked places, not in my last one, but in general, where people have a very hard time removing ego from decision, or they may be attached to a certain product, or they may feel a certain way about an athlete, and that causes friction.
Yeah, they'll die on that hill without any potential ability to see the other side of things.
Exactly. And listen, most of the time, is one person right and one person's wrong? Yeah, that's true. But I think having an open dialogue is so valuable. Like, we'll have like an open dialogue about athletes. I may be gung-ho about one guy, but then fucking 4 or 5 people may be like, hey, like, no, like X, Y, and Z, like...
Yeah, no shot.
You know what I'm saying? So, but just having an open dialogue and even just having a conversation and not being like, oh, like, Johnny doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, let's keep him out of this. That's really, really big. And that I take from back in the baseball days. Like, even like in high school, like there were certain times, like when I would talk to the guys and try and get their opinions on like something, whether it be if the coach comes to me and asks who should we play or this or that or the other. Having an open dialogue helps, not just in sports, in business, family, relationships, love life, communication, man. No matter how difficult the conversation may be, if you can just get past that barrier of being uncomfortable or feeling awkward or whatever, it's almost like a release. You feel like, oh, I got that, I can have that. And your relationship grows then. If you communicate, it grows. If you kind of have that barrier of like, oh, this may be awkward, I'm afraid of saying something, then now you're hindering growth. And that's the exact opposite of what it takes to have a well-oiled machine that is a team.
Leading from the front, super important as well. Leading from the front, getting in the trenches with the actual people.
Exactly.
That's what I've experienced over the years. I did 10 years of retail. Plus I worked for a B2C, B2B audio video company. And then I sold copiers, which I never wanted to drive so fast into the bridges on the northern state than I have. That was so tough. And then obviously branching off and doing my own thing, which I have been doing since 2018, which has been late 2018, which has been a fucking process, and learning, but being able to take everything that I've experienced from all of these other areas and jobs and seeing the quote unquote leaders and how they don't actually lead, they just boss. And there's a big difference.
Astronomical.
Yeah, a huge difference. And just how when I hire people for my company, how I don't want to be. I want to get in the trenches with people. I don't want to just be like, go do this, go shoot this, go edit this, go this. I want to be like, hey, let's work on this together. Like, it's a collaborate. That's what I tell all my clients. When I work with a client on a video, my biggest thing is you're hiring me without question. Okay, yeah, you're deferring to me on a lot of things to help move this project in the right direction. Great. But at the same time, there's a collaboration effort between us. Yeah. I want to make sure that your say
involved.
Yeah, because there's a lot of video guys that I've talked to clients over the years. A lot of video guys that'll just be like, oh yeah, I just edited the way I normally do, or I do this, I that. No. You have to ask your fucking client. That's you got hired because you do a good job with XYZ. Fantastic. But your client is bringing you in. Like, you got to make sure that they're happy.
Exactly.
Work together, collaboration, and that goes internally for companies. That goes externally.
Yeah.
So many people are just ready to die on the fucking hill, not hear another side, not hear anything. Apple with fucking John Stewart. You want to come to Rizzology, man? I can't pay you, but you can come spit knowledge and shit and talk about China and everything that they're doing that's bad. I mean, come on over. I don't give a fuck. China. Open dialogue, baby. So yeah, super important. I thought that was great because it just went hand in hand with the leadership thing. And I have to make it so my iPad stops going to sleep because it's being a little bitch right now. This is something that I actually have always been curious about because I'm in an industry that is highly competitive and there's a lot of video content creators and whatnot, and differentiating yourself can be difficult at times.
Very.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask you was the supplement industry is highly competitive, obviously. And the barrier to entry for a lot of products sometimes is pretty low. Like, it doesn't really take much to start for someone to just randomly start a line out of their garage.
Yeah.
So
very true.
How do you help a brand continue to differentiate in such a crowded space?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's very easy for people to start a brand. Like people like Greg. That's a completely different situation. Like, Greg's paid his dues. Greg knows his shit inside out and has the relationships and is fucking gifted from a graphic standpoint. Greg really is. I actually owe him a phone call. Shout out Greg.
I told you he evaporated. He's not around anymore.
Yeah. Congratulations too. But yeah, no. In terms of that, like we said, it's very easy for someone to make a brand like out of their bathtub, right? And there's some services that make that accessible. But how you keep changing and growing as a brand is really incumbent on the brand's core values and what they stand on, right? And their pillars. What means the most to you? Is it quality? Is it performance? Is it transparency? Most brands now, it's getting very tough now because most, if not all, brands are transparent. There's still some brands that still do a lot of prop blends, but which means like it's like super energy matrix, whatever the fuck, and then they just put like the ingredients, but they don't tell you how much of each ingredient is in that matrix, right?
Is that something that you would say you need to really watch with these brands?
Yeah, well, yes and no. So like if you look at the back of the label, like every single ingredient is listed out at the exact dosage. There's no like blend or anything like that.
And now when you look at other supplement labels, would you say that there are more companies that have blends, quote unquote, versus being
as
line itemed out?
Honestly, right now we're getting to a good space where most popular brands are very transparent in terms of their labeling.
Popular though, so like that's a top 5% of brands because there are probably so many.
Like listen, like Natural Body, right? Like if you walk into Natural Body is one of the few storefronts that, in terms of bringing brands in, they are very, I wouldn't say, strict of their core values. They don't want to bring in a mom and pop brand that is just came out of nowhere that are making it in their fucking bathtub that doesn't have any, whether it be certifications or value or anything like that, but it aligns with their core pillars, right? Quality, transparency, efficacy, things like that. We're in a good space now where we're getting to a place where pretty much, I'm not saying all brands are transparent, but we're in a good spot. You're gonna have your bad apples. That's a given in any space that you work in. Exactly. But what makes brands different? How do you differentiate yourself? If let's say there's a lot of transparent brands. Yeah, there's a lot of brands that that try and be different. Yeah, a lot of brands have shiny labels, right? All right. So like, how are we gonna make ourselves different? For instance, Kaged. We're third-party tested. We're Informed Sport certified. That means your fucking grandmother, your mother, your cousin, anyone, any college athlete can take this. They will never pop on a drug test. We test every single batch. This isn't like a one-off we're sending to the fucking lab to just see if it's okay and our dosages are correct. Every single batch that we manufacture, we test. There's a little label on the side of every single Kaged bottle, Informed Sport certified. That means NCAA athletes, professional athletes, your normal gym bro, everything is certified. We use no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. Every once in a while we use sucralose, but none of that nonsense and bullshit in those products. How are we going to differentiate ourselves even further? Oh, well, we have an elite series now with GNC that use an ingredient called Max Catalyst. It even increases absorption, not just with regular black pepper extract, but with a specialized extract within the black pepper that vastly increases your intake. So our protein, our greens, our nootropics, our pre-workouts. We have 10 grams of citrulline, pure citrulline in our pre-workout. 10. You're absorbing almost all of it. All of it. So that's where it really comes into play. Like, how are you different? Everyone can make a pre-workout, but how are you different? We use 10 grams of citrulline. We have Max Catalyst. We have different flavor profiles. We don't use any artificial flavors or colors. We increase absorption. We're Informed Sport certified. These differentiation points allow us to get into so many different doors and so many different opportunities that a brand like this, dude, there's a rocket ship on it, and it's just I'm genuinely honored to be a part of it. But man, it's between formulations being unique, like genuinely unique, like our hydration powder has Elevate TP in it, unique. No one else has that. Our nootropic, super unique. We have a stem and non-stem. We have an elite pre-workout. We have a non-stem. We have our OG pre-cage pre-workout. We have pre-cage sport for the, let's call it the everyday athlete that like I took a scoop before I got here. We have aminos. We have gluten.
Did you really? You took a scoop before you got here?
Yeah, it's only like 168 milligrams of natural, but it's natural caffeine.
And we got it, and then we got a cold brew. You're awesome.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah,
you're awesome.
Yeah, but like it's natural. Also, too, our sources of our ingredients, it's natural caffeine. It's pure citrulline. Our amino acids are fermented, not coming from duck feathers. These are the little.
Is that normally what amino acids come from? Duck feathers?
Most of the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's cheaper.
Interesting.
Yeah, we use fermented amino acids. Our glutamine, our citrulline, all fermented.
Okay, back up. So BCAAs.
Yeah.
Generally in the industry, they're created by doing what? Or they're synthesized. How?
To be very honest, the actual manufacturing process of amino acids, I don't want to say that how they're manufactured. I'm not going to be that guy to come out here and act like I know how to process a fucking amino acid. Okay. But
you could say what you understand or you know.
I know,
which is common knowledge, but not so common.
Yeah. So like a lot of people will be like, oh, I just want to get this BCAA or this this EAA product. There are some brands out there that use amino acids that if you look on their COA or their spec, that they're coming from duck feathers or animal parts, right? Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But that's why, like, I make a huge deal. Everyone talks shit, quite frankly, about our Informed Sport certification or how we always talk about we're third-party tested.
And that's what I was going to ask, to just interject real quick. I was going to ask if that's actually just like something that you pay off to just have as a label, or if it actually matters.
But that's the point, though, is like I'm not. This is not me coming at any brand at all whatsoever. I love this industry. I'm not trying to like start anything, but I challenge anyone to come to me and be like, why you third-party tested, Informed Sport certified? Because I know what I'm putting. Like people this is a really good point too. You're putting this shit in your fucking body. Like, you're ingesting it. Don't you want to know that you can trust it? Don't you want to know what you're putting in your body? Like,
scarily enough, it should be that you want to know everything that goes into your body. But a lot of people don't care.
Exactly.
And they don't care that seed oils are ruining their fucking health, or too much of this and too much of that, and natural flavors equals this, and it's scary shit when you start diving down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and that's why too, like, we also pride ourselves on being a brand and a business that genuinely educates our consumers. We have a whole spew of video educationals for GNC that just study and look at and to really learn the products and why we dose the way we dose, because it's efficacious. I'm not going to fucking jip you on that. You look on the back of a pre-workout elite of fucking pre-caged or pre-workout now. I mean, what stone is not turned over? My God, like it's unbelievable. And the third-party testing is crucial for me because I know that it's tested. I know that the citrulline in there is fermented. I know it's natural caffeine.
And what does fermented mean? What is that?
It's a vegetable source.
Okay.
Yeah, it's extracted naturally. So it's not like it's not from any like duck feathers or anything like that,
or dead animals.
Exactly. So like it's one of those, right? So the Informed Sport certification is huge for me, like so beyond huge. Only because as I've gotten older and as we all get older, right? Like we need to be substantially more conscious of what we're putting in our bodies, and every single batch is tested, man. Every single one.
Cool.
Yeah,
I like that. I had no idea it was made with duck feathers, though, I'll tell you that much.
And also, too, it's kind of like it goes back to like the people that are making pre-workouts in their bathtubs. And that's like, oh, we don't want to get that certification, X, Y, and Z. Why not?
Well, I've been asked that a lot of times because obviously I have a lot of friends.
But why not, though? Get tested.
Well, exactly. Well, why not?
Get it tested.
What are you worried about? What are you worried about popping up?
Yeah. What are you hiding?
Yeah. Number one, what are you hiding? Number two, you have to have some type of like a respect to your clients and your customers.
I'm not accusing. I'm just saying like if you're against testing because you feel like our products are clean, which are honestly, I'll say this. I'd like to believe most brands are clean, but what we do for our consumers and how we go the extra mile for our consumers that are buying with their hard-earned money, our products that put food on our table because they love our products, we're going to go the extra mile and get Informed Sport certified. We're going to pay that fee yearly. So in the back of your mind, because there's some products that are certified and Informed Sport certified that in terms of dosing aren't that as well dosed as us. Most of the products that are as well dosed as us don't have that certification. That's a lot of fucking testing to do. We'll make that investment. I want to make sure that you can get a kick-ass pre-workout and you know what you're putting in your body and it's tested and you don't have to worry. Like I have cop buddies who are like, hey, can I take your pre-workout? Absolutely you can. We're Informed Sport. I have college athletes. I have friends. Hey, can I take? Absolutely you can. Just tag me in the IG post. But like, it just allows and opens up so many more doors and kind of, at least for us, puts the doubt away in terms of, oh, can I take this? You can. Anyone can take Kaged. Literally anybody. So that's also why it fits so well with me, because we can fit any need that anybody else wants.
And you don't feel weird when you have people that you know and that they love and trust you. Yeah. You don't feel weird saying when they ask you, "Am I going to pop on a test at my job or at my college or at my whatever it is? Am I going to pop on a test?" And you go, "I don't think so. You should be good." Yeah. Like now you actually know you'll be fine. Yeah. You're going to be good.
Yeah, and at the same time too, like if you're not sure, one, that says something. Two, you're playing with people's livelihoods. God forbid, right? God forbid. But we don't mess around. We're crossing our T's, dotting our I's, and it really is taking off, thankfully.
I'd like to transition to what are some obstacles over the years that you've had to tackle with brands in the fitness industry? So
in terms of what, like a learning curve, or
just behind the scenes stuff that you guys have had, maybe some challenges that can help other people that are in the field. That's kind of where I'm going with it.
Yeah, no, I think
it's a super wide open generic type of a.
I think at least for me, well, personally, I think it's leaning into learning something new, right? I think that it goes back to talking about how there are certain things and certain steps that you may be afraid to take. Like there's people that want to get into the fitness industry or the supplement industry specifically. I encourage you to just get your foot in the door, man. Like I started out in fucking label development. I ended up formulating 30 products and traveling the world, and now I work for fucking Kaged. I'm blessed, dude. Like, just getting listening, that's why I say, I listened to my dad, fuck it, I went to the fucking job fair, fuck it.
Imagine if you didn't.
That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. I'd be a fireman right now. Not anything knocks. I love firemen, I love cops. Like, I wanted to be a cop. But this is what I wanted to do, because I was in the gym every day. My dad's like, why don't you just try and work for a supplement company? And I was like, I don't want to work in regulatory, do labels. My dad's like, just get your foot in the door, dude. Just trust me. I trusted my dad. And I say with pride, I worked for Kaged. I'm so proud of that accomplishment. And it took me a couple weeks to really, even a month now, till they just take a seat, like a step back and like, whoa, acknowledge that, absorb it, enjoy it, embrace it. Because, that goes not even just work stuff, just life stuff in general. Whether you just got married, you got a new job, dude, you have this beautiful office. I bet probably recently you've just really soaked it in, or maybe you haven't even really, because you've been so caught in the grind. I encourage you, dude, like take 2 seconds. Dude, I fucking almost cried, bro. Like it means a lot. You don't realize in that moment that you're accomplishing so much and you just get so lost in everything. But once you take a step back, you're like, holy shit, I did that. Seriously.
You get lost in the process.
Exactly, because you're like so go that you just want to perform. Mm-hmm. But you really should take time to really take a step back. Don't get comfortable. Like, you still got work to do, but acknowledge, like, celebrate the little things too. Like, those things, incremental, do add up. At least that's personally. From a professional standpoint, I will say that let's if we even want to touch on like influencer culture, right? So like, how do I get a sponsorship? X, Y, and Z. I have so many friends who are bodybuilders. One of my best friends, he'll be one of my best men at my wedding one day. Guy, I tell him all the time. He's like, oh, well, some of these brands don't have athletes. You're 100% right. You don't need, and this is with all due respect, like Jay Cutler is one of my heroes. A bodybuilder, some of them are like literal, like I look up to them, right? In order to get sponsorships now, if you haven't noticed, you don't need to win a pro card to get a supplement sponsorship. What you need to do is you need to have some sort of influence. You need to bring value. You need to be obviously up on your content and provide value that has substance. Not just take a selfie and with let's say a bottle of pre-workout, right? So brands need influence, not athlete, really. At least anymore. Like back in the day when there was a lot of magazines and stuff like that, having that, imposing and like Greek god physique meant something, and that would actually create conversion. Now with this, dude, if you look somewhat decent and you're good on the stick, right? And you can convert, you can have some influence with your audience. Someone may pay you, dude. You don't, and that's why, like, when people like, this goes into the bodybuilding conversation where it's like, I see two sides now. I see the one side that people just genuinely love the sport and want to compete. I have a bunch of friends, people I used to work with, that want to be bodybuilders just to compete because they love it. I think that's fucking awesome. If you're looking to get into the sport to get a paycheck with a supplement brand specifically, I highly suggest that if you're doing it for that reason, take a step back and reevaluate, because you don't need to do that anymore. The landscape has changed. You need to have some sort of influence, like I said, with your social, or whether it's a blog, you do YouTube, podcast, whatever it is. You don't need to be a pro. And that's not a knock against bodybuilding. I love it. I wanted to be a bodybuilder once, and I realized very quickly that I could not keep up. I just could not. I wasn't ready to kind of go past that threshold. But yeah, man, that's really that shtick.
Yeah, I find it very. I want to say I find it very encouraging that brands have gone towards an ROI approach, because there was so much wasted time and wasted marketing dollars behind people that didn't convert and didn't bring clients or awareness or customers. And instead, they got a check every single month to just say they took something. And instead of actually bringing value to the company that's cutting them that check, it was a very one-way or one-sided relationship. And me, I hate seeing shit like that, because to me, if I was sponsored by a company and I got 0 sales, like nobody bought from the company, even though I'm putting my name on it, nobody bought from the company, I'd feel weird putting my name on that.
Yeah.
I just would. But there are some people that just don't give a fuck. And guess what? Stuff like this with ROI and not necessarily needing to be Mr. Olympia to get a sponsorship cut or a check, you could be making more.
You don't need to compete, period.
That's what I'm saying. So like, you don't even need to, you could be making more than the dude competing at Mr. Olympia. But the reason you are is because you have the actual influence, not the fake gassed up. Oh, he's got 1 million followers. How many of those 1 million followers are spending money on the things that he's putting his name on?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Exactly. And it really depends on, like, if that person really resonates, right? Like, I think it depends on the personality. Like, for instance, I had this conversation with a guy last week. People like actually Branch Warren too. Like, we were smoking a cigar and we were talking about how this exact conversation, I was like, dude, these guys are rarities. Like, guys who are bodybuilders and have influence and social influence, right? And can convert. Like, guy's a rarity. Like, he could talk. He's good on video. He has a converting audience. Branch is the same way. Jay's the same. Jay has his own brand. He's the same. Those are a dime a dozen. Like, so when it comes to, like, athletes and bodybuilders, that's all great. I think that's wonderful. Like, I think we both, like, you actually competed. I didn't.
Twice.
But, like, in terms of where the landscape's going, it's people of influence, content creators, quality content creators that actually make sense for your brand, not just doing it because they have a social presence. And long story short, you don't need to be a pro, or you don't need to win a bodybuilding show to get sponsored. It really is the quality of the person, the content. Do you convert? Do you align with that brand's values? That's it too. Because I think a lot of people come in with, even if they do convert, right, and they have this big following, they may not align, and that's fine. But it's finding the right. It's really finding the right partner and the right people. People matter first, and that's really the approach that Kaged just take. Just totality from a high level down. People first.
So now let me ask you this: How do you feel is the best way to connect with people, whether it's through the internet, whether it's in person? How do you feel is the best way to connect with them, and then obviously show them that these products are going to not only change their life in a positive way, but aid in whatever they're trying to do, whether it's staying more focused during work or getting a workout in or whatnot? Just like, what do you feel is the best way
to communicate
to communicate and capture that attention?
Yeah, I think it really
and I want to just add this little statement in a space that is so overly saturated.
Yeah, it really it's the brand messaging, right? And it's the people associated with it. That's what differentiates brands throughout. I say this all the time. People that are shopping for supplements, believe it or not, in my opinion, people are buying people. For instance, I've had friends within the past week since I joined Kaged walk into a GNC and just buy a tub of protein just because they're good people and they're friends of mine and they just want to support me. The week I found out I got the job, right? Aaron Lohman walks through GNC. He's like, hey. I was like, come on. People by people, man. And in terms of communicating that, it's on us as a brand to do the right things in terms of communicating that. All right, so how are we marketing? Who are we marketing to? Really doing our due diligence and targeting the right people and knowing our niche so well that we're so laser focused and have like a dial on where to drop that pin and retargeting. And I'm not going to get into the whole marketing lingo, but our marketing department does such a tremendous job with that and the communication and how they do that. But from a personal level, from a phone call to me walking into like a local GNC and communicating with that person and saying like, hey, how long have you been here? What do you do? What products do you like? Like how does this industry, how'd you get in it? How does this affect you? What products do you use? And really getting to know the person rather than just saying, hey, dude, you only moved like fucking 2 units this month. Like what's up with that? Like we're the best brand here. No, that's a human at the end of the day. They have other brands to sell, but you have to get to know the person. And I think taking a more holistic approach and personable approach and not even like a salesy approach, dude, just get to know the person. And then just by like you guys talking, it'll just happen organically. That's what happened like with me and Anthony from Foundations. I met him through Guy and it just clicks. Me and Steve from Natural Body. I like Steve. Me and Steve click. Me and Tony from Hummus. Known Tony for fucking years. Any brand that I've been with, he has been the utmost supportive person that I've met. Phone call. Dude, congratulations. You're the man. Like, don't worry. We're going to support you. I'm like, dude, like, I haven't even started and you're already trying to support me. It's all relationship building and it's taking a more holistic approach and just being a good person, being approachable, being understanding, being empathetic, and obviously knowing your shit too at the same time. That's really it.
A1. We're going to end on this because I think it's a nice kicking off point. Mm-hmm. And then you and I are going to do some more stuff in the coming weeks to month.
Yeah.
And that's going to be exciting. Little project. How do you see the future of the supplement industry evolving? And what opportunities and challenges do you anticipate in it?
I think in terms of the industry evolving, what I would hope, right, is that this industry, we have a saying that there is no best, right? It's all relative. Everyone's best is relative. Like, what pizza do you like the best? Chicago or New York? It's all relative, subjective. Like, it's your opinion.
But the right answer is New York.
Yeah, exactly. But that's literally what I was gonna say. But yeah. The right approach is like, listen. We believe there is no best, but we're the closest fucking thing to it. That's just my opinion. And I really just hope, and we are seeing people go in that direction of third-party testing, being fully transparent, bring some sort of uniqueness. Like, I'll reference some of my friends, like Greg. Greg's products are really unique. They taste really good, and he's doing his thing. And I just hope everyone follows suit into just being real, transparent, efficacious, doing right by your consumers. They're spending their hard-earned money on this. And educating. That's really what we want to do. We want to educate and show people the way, right? And then really push them obviously towards Kaged, which is where I think everyone should be buying. But if I can help that one person, if I can help someone get over the digestive issues with our greens, our organic greens, by the way, super all natural. If I can help Nick focus on an episode with mindset, anything that I could do to just help that person, I would really hope that everyone's core values are, and the way they're approaching people on moving the industry forward is just helping people at the end of the day. People are taking our products, our supplements to supplement their lives to help them accomplish a task. So if my end goal is to just help you and my vessel and catalyst of that is Kaged, then I had a good day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to add that people should know about Kaged that I want you to do the plugs on you and where people can find you if they aren't listening to the episode and already know you as a human being? Mm-hmm. And then I'm not sure because I know it's just going to GNC type stuff. Is there a code for you for Kaged by chance? Like just to, I don't know if like they had you had one or anything like that. No. I usually just ask anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't have a code. If you want to support me directly, just go into your local GNC.
Tag them.
Yeah, just
throw a story up. Just say, "Hey, Nikki."
Dude, I get no commission from it. I get no financial gain from it.
That's like me with Rain.
I get nothing.
People tag me in the drinks. I'm just happy to see that they're enjoying them.
And exactly, and that's what makes me happy about it though, is that we have this exclusive Elite Series with GNC. Walk into your local GNC if you want to support me or the brand. I encourage you to try it because I genuinely say this. You try our products once, our lifetime value and reorder rate, let's just not even D2C. Going to like a GNC or a vitamin shop, I'm telling you, you're going to buy a Kaged again. And I've been using Kaged products for over a decade. Okay, maybe a little less. I don't want to age myself, but yeah, it's if that's what you want to do, go into a GNC, support me that way, or you can go online, Kaged.com. You can find me at nick.karalekas. That's my Instagram handle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, man. Just trying to help the people.
That's it, man. Listen, I am super excited for this new endeavor for you. You have a lightning strike of just happiness and just excitement, which I haven't seen in a while. So it's nice.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you continually conquer and do your damn thing over there and have cool projects and, continually talking about things that not only you love, but you believe in. And that makes a huge difference because you actually have to believe in the things that you're not, I won't just say pitching to people, but you're telling them to consume.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes on a media standpoint, that goes in an actual physical, tangible things that you hold or take and ingest. So the fact that you love it and that it means something to you and that you know where this is going is exciting to see. And I'm glad I got you to sit down and chop it up on the inaugural episode, second episode in this new studio.
I know.
Second one.
Yeah, and we got to walk in the rain beforehand too.
You got to walk in the rain. You were very upset about that. Your thing is probably dry if you want to show people it.
Yeah. Oh no, it's still wet.
Oh, it's still wet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got to get a fucking fan in here or something. I got to figure something out. I get hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to keep the window open because the windows are directly behind me. But the issue then is like,
the wind with the microphones. Yeah.
I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about people just having rage down the road and just screaming and shit. You may catch it every now and then.
It is Huntington, yeah.
It's Huntington, man.
Yeah, H-Town.
But I want to thank you for taking the time, hanging out with me as usual. It's always a pleasure. It's always a good time.
Likewise.
I'm going to break this fast when we're done. I don't know what I'm going to break it with, but I'm going to break it with something. And you got a shoot to go to?
Yeah.
Got a shoot to go to. I got more episodes to bang out this weekend. So big episode 66 with my brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too, buddy.
Give me some. Boom.
There you go.
And on that note, y'all know where to find Nick. If you have any questions, if you want to learn more about Kaged, you have the website, or you can reach out to him directly.
Yep.
And I got to just keep hitting the tagline, like, share, subscribe. It helps the show grow, and it just keeps things chugging along. So I appreciate all of y'all so far and continually supporting the show. And on that note, peace.
Peace out, guys.